from home. Hey, look at that. Sorry, everybody, and thanks for pointing that out. And hello to everybody on the YouTube chat as well. It's a big day. We expect a big audience. Also, want to take your phone calls throughout the day. As Jason said, 1-800-920-1140. Let's be perfectly honest, though. Last night, it was a boost, and it won't matter until the games start. But our thought was correct, and not that we were prescient in any way. I think every Kings fan knew that if De'Aaron Fox was able to go, he would go. And it was something like, there's absolutely no chance I'm not playing. Now it's just a matter of how effective is he going to be, Jason?
Yeah, and then everybody, those that were at practice were looking at, well, the shot looked okay. He was making his free throws. I mean, it's going to be under the pressure cooker. How does he play? And I think tomorrow I can already picture it, or as the game goes, or opinions in the crowd or Twitter and all that. Oh, did he lose the handle because of the finger? Stuff we'll probably never know, and maybe De'Aaron would never admit to, but it's all the things that everybody will be watching for tonight.
Yeah, really. And no one wants to think this way, because a loss is a loss is a loss. But really, I think I don't know. I've been formulating this thought since we heard about the injury, Jason, and there's really no way to verbalize it without it sounding like loser talk. I'm wondering if the injury, see if you can help me here. One way to think would be, well, no matter what, now it's house money for the Kings, because if they win, they were able to win with their superstar having a broken finger. If they're not able to win, then you say, well, what would have happened had he had a healthy finger?
Sure.
And I don't think that's fair, because injuries do happen. But I do wonder if somewhere, somehow, there's a tiny bit of pressure removed where it's like, okay, look, everybody expects us to lose. Everybody expects De'Aaron Fox not to be effective. The worst case scenario is that they're right and he has a broken finger. But the best case scenario is this is how one of the many playoff fables, fairy tales are written.
Yeah, I think so. And I think what it also draws on, and I'll go to game 3 when the Warriors didn't have Draymond. I mean, that's a key piece. And really, Gary Payton, GP2 didn't play either. You kind of need everybody, and you need everybody not to be out of this world, but just on top of their game. And I, at sometimes, and I get it, I think sometimes this team will stand back a little bit and watch De'Aaron. And I don't blame him, because he's incredible. But I think maybe it now calls on everybody to be great, and De'Aaron as well. And I think, right or wrong, Dave, this is the reality. If De'Aaron plays, he's still getting evaluated. And I think he may get a little bit of a leash, but I expect him to be great. And if he's not, I'll understand why. But I think if De'Aaron plays, De'Aaron expects himself to be great.
Yeah, and I think De'Aaron expects to play 40-plus minutes tonight.
Yes.
I will say this. We were all Zabruder filming his practice workouts yesterday and watching his touch, and saw him hit 3 3-pointers in a row. And I'll tell you this much, had I been under a rock for the last few days and they were just showing me practice highlights from yesterday, you could not have told me there was anything wrong unless you zoomed in and you looked at the little mini splint they have for him. Now, listen, making shot. If you've ever watched an NBA practice or shoot around before, it's actually kind of interesting, because these guys like rarely miss.
Right.
And like Alex Len, and I mean this like all respect to Alex Len, but like Alex Len will be behind the 3-point line and he'll hit like 5 in a row. And it's like, why are you not taking 300 of these in a season?
Yeah.
There's such a difference, obviously, between practice and gameplay, but an open shot's an open shot. If I think it's all just going to come down to 2 things: the mental game, as it has been all series, and the home court advantage.
Yeah, and that's the other part. I mean, it's special. This building has been great in its first run at the playoffs. The fans have been amazing. I expect nothing different today. And we will have a full breakdown of all of this. It's Analyst Wednesday. Kayte joins us at 8, Kenny at 9. We also got to check in on the A's. We told you about this yesterday, as Casey Pratt's going to join us as well. But let's get a quick look at leading off for today.
Let's do it.
Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm fine.
Short and sweet, Dave. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's what we knew, but it was great just to hear it yesterday from De'Aaron Fox and kind of saying it with confidence.
Yeah, that and if there's one thing about De'Aaron Fox in these playoffs, I mean, let's acknowledge it real quick. Hey, he's been in the league 6-7 years. He's never been in the playoffs. It seems, being he's the clutch player of the year, that his game is built for the playoffs, but you have to get under the big lights and see. And he has gone nose to nose, toe to toe with, I don't think arguably a top 10 all-time NBA player, certainly a top 10 all-time accomplished NBA player. And if Steph Curry isn't the face of the league, he's one of the faces of the league you can count on 2 or 3 fingers. Fox, in his debut, has gone toe-to-toe with Steph Curry and hasn't just held his own. I think if you looked at the stats blindly, you'd give a slight edge to Fox. Either way, even if it's dead even, he has shown up. The lights are on, and I think anyone who's watched him over the years expected this, but to see this really, Jason, national awakening. I saw this one of those dumb Twitter things yesterday where it was like start, bench, and cut.
Yeah.
It was De'Aaron Fox, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Ja Morant.
Okay.
And Ja Morant was the guy getting cut more than anyone.
Wow.
And De'Aaron Fox was the guy. It was pretty close, but he was getting the start. And it just, that doesn't happen a couple months ago. And if that came out last year at this time,
oh yeah,
it would be a joke. It would be so it's just been really fun to see this national awakening and De'Aaron Fox announcing his presence on the national stage.
Yeah, to me, it's one of those injuries too, Dave, where like the classic, if this was during the regular season, where people would say, well, if it was the playoffs, I'd play, but it's not, so I'm going to miss, 4 to 6 games or whatever the timeline would be. Well, here we are. It is the playoffs, and if he can literally go, and it sounds like he's going to do everything possible, no ifs, ands, or buts, he's going to play. So to me, it seems like one of those classic, if it's the playoffs I'm playing, well, here we are. It's the playoffs, and it's a huge Game 5.
Let it be known forever, if the Kings win tonight, as the fracture game. And then here we go. It's something that in 20 years, either old grizzled you and me, or Chris Watkins and Kyle Madsen and Frankie are going to be our age, and they're going to be telling the youngsters about the performance they saw in 2023 from De'Aaron Fox.
You and I will be porch sitting going, remember the time?
Yes, we will be at the KHTK retirement home with Mike Ramey and friends, raising a glass of Kool-Aid and having fun.
Yes. All right. We've got more to get to. Certainly one of the bright spots of Game 4, Dave, was Keegan Murray. His phenomenal performance. Let's hope he has an answer for that. He yesterday, by the way, finished 5th, top 5 in Rookie of the Year voting. He had a great year. We'll do what's totally unfair, but it's sports radio. Sometimes what you do is we'll look back at last year's draft class. It's far too early to redraft it, but we're going to do it. Where would Keegan land there? We've got that and a busy show previewing Game 5. It is game day. We're back with more right after this.
Sactown Sports wants to congratulate Kings head coach Mike Brown for being the first coach to unanimously win the NBA Coach of the Year award.
100 first place votes, first time ever. Wow. A unanimous decision.
Hey, thank you guys. Thank you, everybody. I'm really appreciative of being in Sacramento. The fans, the city has been fantastic.
How will Coach Brown lead the Kings during the playoffs?
Tune into Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com to find out.
Hey there, Jason Ross here to tell you about my friends at ACR Solar. Go to acrsolar.com to find out all the different things that are there. Home services as well for us. We needed a brand new roof, and they were the company that came through for us. I'm glad we were told about ACR Solar, because it was something that we looked literally at roofing companies, and it's not in their name, but it is in the home services department. It's what they do. There are other things that they provide. And once we were told about them, we said, look, we got to meet with multiple companies. We'll put them on the list, and so glad we did, because it rang true for us. And sometimes when you get that first meeting, you certainly hear what the price point will be, what they can offer. It just, the partnership felt right. We met with John, the owner, Joe, the roofing expert. We said, yep, this is the company we want to work with, and thank goodness we did. Brand new roof, looks great. Our home looks great, and as far as our peace of mind, it's top notch. Now we feel totally safe, secure, just not bothered at all by any elements that we have. We're going to have a warm weekend coming up, a warm few days. We had, all that rain in the off season, in the winter season. So we were fine. Made it through all the elements thanks to ACR Solar and our brand new roof. So check them out at acrsolar.com.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Davion retreats to the deep right wing in front of the Warriors bench. Screen from Sabonis. Starts left, comes back right, finds Sabonis. Dribble handoff now to Murray. In rhythm for three. He's got the triple. What an afternoon for Keegan Murray. It's a 7-0 Sacramento run to start the fourth quarter. We're back to a one-possession game at 102-99. Keegan Murray has made his fifth three-pointer in 6 attempts. He has 23 total points. He had struggled mightily, to say the least. He was 1 of 8 in the first 3 games from downtown after he had established an all-time NBA rookie record of making 206 triples in the regular season.
That's the great G-Man, Gary Gerald. You'll be able to hear tonight right here on Sactown Sports with Game 5. Dave, I know the Kings did lose Game 4. There was heartache. It was so close. But I think the bright spot for sure was the return of Keegan Murray. He was sensational in Game 4.
He was absolutely sensational. And really, again, just not only a shout out to him for being able to pull it together like that in the middle of a playoff series, but also to Mike Brown. We talked a lot about this. How much leash do you give him? And you know what? He did have him on a leash. 16 minutes, I believe, in the first 2 games. He wasn't just letting him out there. But we talked about this a little bit after Game 3, Jason. I think there was something too. And it was really genius what Mike Brown did, putting Keegan Murray back in that blowout loss in Golden State, just to get no pressure. We're going to lose. Just go out there and shoot the ball a few times. We do not care if you miss. Let's just see a couple go through the basket. That's what happened. I know that's not the only reason he recovered, but I think it's little things like that combined with who knows how many times Domantas Sabonis and Harrison Barnes and the rest of his team talked to him, and he got it together, and he had a wonderful game.
And tonight, if we look ahead, obviously, I think when Scott Moak introduces De'Aaron Fox, which will be the first one in the starting 5, I think an amazing ovation for him. Mm-hmm. I think if Kevin Huerter can start to have some shots fall like Keegan did the other day, I think the building – I mean, everybody's going to be in support of the team. So you just got to believe, like, if you can get Huerter going, that would be a huge boost to this team.
If Keegan Murray and Kevin Huerter are going, it's not that you don't need De'Aaron Fox. It's that you're gonna if Kevin Huerter, I'll say this: if Kevin Huerter and Keegan Murray both shoot above 40%, if you get, let's say, I don't know, 3-4 threes out of each of them, and they're at or above 40%, the Kings are winning the game. They're going to win the game. It's that simple to me. They're going to win this ball game. That's just so far. That's a lot to ask.
Yeah, for sure. Yesterday, another award was handed out, and it goes to, no surprise here, I think well-deserved, Orlando Magic rookie Paolo Banchero named 2023 Rookie of the Year. Keegan Murray did finish number 5 in the Rookie of the Year voting. But, Dave, if we look at this, and generally we say you got to wait 2, 3, 4 years sometimes, and things can even shift after that. But you get a much better read on these players, and sometimes players even change teams in that short amount of time. But if we were to look back at last year's draft, we know that Keegan Murray was selected 4 by the Kings, not overwhelmingly popular by the national media, had a great run in Vegas and had an incredible rookie year. But as you look back at the draft, you're sticking with Banchero number 1, though, still, right?
I am
at this moment.
Yeah, right now I'm sticking with Banchero number 1. He was the number 1 pick in the draft, and he was the best rookie this year. So I can't move him off of number 1.
What do you do with Chet? Because he goes 2. I almost feel like it's incomplete. I don't know that I would keep him at 2 myself, just because it's totally unfair, but because of the injury. And I don't know what he is, though I think he'll be good, but I think I would move him.
I did move him. If we're rounding out, if we're going top 5 here.
Sure.
I moved him down 1 spot. And the reason why, he still may be, listen, you told me Chet Holmgren in 5 years is the best player in this class, it wouldn't shock me. But the issue with him going in was, can he stand up to the rigors of the NBA? And he couldn't even make it 2 NBA games. So, yeah, I think it's okay to move him, not from a talent perspective, but from the exact knock going in on him at Gonzaga, which is, can this guy play when he has toothpicks for legs and ankles? So I think that's a very legitimate future concern. I would move Chet Holmgren to 3rd.
Okay.
And this is where it gets really tough, because here's the headline of my top 5 is Keegan Murray's in the top 5.
Yep.
Keegan Murray moves down a spot for me.
Okay, interesting. So what's your 5?
So I'm moving Walker Kessler up to number 2.
What a jump for him too.
Oh, just what was he, 20? Something like that. I got it in front of me here.
Let's see, 22.
22.
Yeah.
And just again, a genius move by Danny Ainge. Walker Kessler is already very, very close, if not arguably better, when you look at the all-around picture than Rudy Gobert, the guy he and everyone and their mother plus 4 first-round draft picks were traded for. He's going to be a defensive anchor, and he's shown he's not going to be a 40-point scorer, but this guy's shown he's going to be a double-double machine, and he's going to lead the league in blocks for a long time. And to have a defensive anchor like that changes shots, that changes entire defenses. We saw when Sabonis went up against him, man, he is a moose. I put him at number 3, and honestly, it was really difficult between him and Jalen Williams. Not that Jalen Williams.
Wait, which Jalen?
The other Jalen Williams.
Oh, the other Jalen.
The one
Okay,
in Oklahoma
gotcha.
City. Yeah.
Oh, that's clear now. Yeah.
He's been a revelation, and just another interesting, and the fact of the matter is, whoever Oklahoma City picks this year, plus you get Chet Holmgren next year, I mean, blue sky world, this team's going to be super scary in a couple years. I give my toughest argument was Jalen Williams or Keegan Murray, and I'm happy to be wrong here. I think all top 5 could be all-stars, but I got to give the guy that finished number 2 in the Rookie of the Year voting, I can't put him 5th. So I put him 4th. I put Keegan Murray 5th, and it's all positives and compliments with Keegan Murray. He had a fantastic year.
Yeah, my list could be way off now that I'm second guessing it after hearing yours. I left Banchero 1, obviously. I was a fan of this guy before the draft. I thought he had a good year. I'm a huge fan of Mathurin. I think he's going to be great, and I put him 2. I actually moved Keegan up 1 spot to 3. I put Kessler 4, and then I have a tie for 5th. So I've punished Chet Holmgren, which isn't fair. And then I actually took out Jalen Williams, which I'm now questioning, but I have a combo, and I'm probably too influenced from our 2 games up in Portland, but I think Shaedon Sharpe looked absolutely amazing, but I also have to keep in mind that, there was nobody else on the floor, but I still think he's got so much potential, and I still think Jabari Smith's going to be really good, so I put them at a tie for 5th, but I've left out some good players. I think the point is this draft class looks like it's going to be pretty good.
This is going to be one of the best draft classes we've had in a long, long time. When you just go, we've had draft classes before where there's like 3 Hall of Famers that are insane, but the rest of the draft was kind of weak. Right. I don't know. I don't think there's a LeBron. I don't think there's a KD. I don't know if that player exists, but I think you've got a handful of multi-time all-stars and guys that are going to, and you mentioned it. First off, Banchero, obviously. Who knows? Holmgren's a wild card, but went number 2 in the draft. He's still extremely young. Let's put him to the side. I agree with you on Jabari Smith Jr. Keegan is Keegan. We didn't even mention Jaden Ivey.
That's the thing. How funny is that?
He didn't have a bad year at all.
No.
He's playing on Detroit. Jaden Ivey's a stud. I agree with you 100% about Benedict Mathurin, and I think they're going to start him next year, and I think he's going to be better. And I agree with you 3 billion% on Shaedon Sharpe, who can jump out of the gym, whose basketball IQ is through the roof. Dyson Daniels has shown that he can play insane defense. Jeremy Sochan for a while this year was being talked about as a Rookie of the Year guy. And you just go on and on. Jalen Williams, Ochai Agbaji, in the time he had, looked to be a guy that was a 2-way star. And then there's there's wild cards. Mark Williams out of Duke, you want to talk about remember his measurables, his body. He almost averaged a double-double this year. And I could go on and on, but there's at least 10 or 12 guys in this draft, Jason, that I could legitimately, after 1 year of playing and 1 year of being injured in Holmgren's case, there's 10 guys I could look at and go, yeah, he could be an all-star.
Yeah, and what's great is I think fit-wise, Keegan's been perfect. I think his ceiling, he's got a lot more to go. So on the Kings side of things, they're happy. Other teams are happy as well. Congrats again to Paolo Banchero for taking down that Rookie of the Year award. All right.
Jason, I'm sorry. I know we got to go to break.
Yeah.
I want you to think about something over the break because I want to throw it into this conversation. Which is more difficult? You're Paolo Banchero, you're on the Magic, you're surrounded by crap players, so you're going to get all the offense and all the shots and all the stats, but you're going to get doubled a ton. Or you're Keegan Murray, who comes into a fantastic team nobody thought would be fantastic. You can chill, do your thing. You're maybe the fourth, maybe the fifth option. You have no pressure, but at the same time, you've got four guys ahead of you. You're not even the first, second, or third option. I just want to ask you at the top of the next segment, which one you think is more challenging?
All right, we'll get into that. Also, another poll question out there about Laker fans and Warrior fans in the comp that Dave has had out there. We'll discuss that and more as we get you ready for Game 5. All coming up later tonight right here on Sactown Sports.
It's Cattles and Rami.
And now we get this De'Aaron Fox news. Before I get to your thoughts, Rami, and how this impacts the series, it's rather obvious it absolutely impacts this series. What I don't want us to do, I don't want to take calls saying I fractured my finger in 1998 and I was okay. I went to work.
I went to the YMCA. I put up 20 in 3-on-3.
Fractured my index finger when I was in high school, still dropped 30. I don't want that.
Cattles and Rami, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Valley Strong Credit Union.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Wednesday starts out comfortably. Temperatures in the lower 50s. Heading into the afternoon, a bit warmer today with bright sunshine and less wind. Highs will climb to the upper 80s to low 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, capital, and everything in between. Learn about all the benefits of being a business banking member at valleystrong.com.
At the Gonzalez Law Office, we focus on trials and litigation to achieve the best result. For over a decade, Jonathan Gonzalez has conducted more than 60 jury trials to verdict, and since 2016 has only lost 2. We understand how to fight for our clients and make sure our clients get the best results. We don't settle for less, and neither should you. Call us to handle all your criminal and injury cases. 916-304-9187. That's 916-304-9187, or visit us at saclegaldefense.com.
Jiffy Lube's Country in the Park, Northern California's biggest country music festival of the year, is back May 5th and 6th at Cal Expo, starring Lady A,
Chris Young,
Brett Eldridge,
and so many more.
plus a Boots Boot and Line Dance Saloon, interactive lounges, and Sacramento's best food trucks. Weekend passes start at just $80. Tickets are on sale now at SactownSports.com. Country in the Park, brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort, Hanley's Western Wear, and Quick Hot Car Wash.
We all know the pain of being stuck in the past. But with Roseville Electric, you can get current. Roseville Electric provides you with clean, reliable electric solutions for your home or business. Whether you're looking to go electric, reduce your carbon footprint, or simply save on your monthly energy bill, Roseville Electric has a solution for you. For more info, visit getcurrentroseville.com today.
Make your way to the ballpark on Sunday, April 30th to watch your A's go head-to-head with the Cincinnati Reds. Get there early to grab your very own Tony Kemp poster, presented by Kaiser Permanente. This one-of-a-kind poster giveaway features TK and his iconic catch.
Diving play to his right. Unbelievable catch by Tony Kemp. Spectacular.
Tickets start at just $10 and are available at athletics.com/tickets. That's athletics.com/tickets.
Get to Acura of Stockton, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. And right now, lease a new Acura TLX, MDX, or Integra with low lease rates available. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
Near the banks of the Sacramento River, Perry Dye of the famous Dye family of golf architects designed Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course as Sacramento's #1 course for fun. Dye's design and mixture of holes assures players of a fun-filled day with friends. Bartley Kavanaugh's moderately sized greens and generous fairway landing areas make for an affordable and fun round of golf. After golf, relax on the outdoor veranda with a cold beverage or a tasty meal. For tee times, visit BartleyKavanaugh.com. It's Sacramento's #1 course for fun.
Great team, great team. Where's the defense? Defense! Okay, everyone take a break. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here for the Good Feet store, asking, when is something too good to be true? when it probably is. And had I not experienced it for myself, this spectacular season would definitely qualify as too good to be true. So everyone out there in radio land, continue to enjoy. Something else that could seem too good to be true is Good Feet Arch Supports. But trust me, I've experienced firsthand the comfort, balance, and support possible with Good Feet Arch Supports. And so have countless others who have pretty much given up hope. It's time you felt good again. Take your feet to the Good Feet store for a free personalized arch support fitting and test walk. Experience for yourself the comfort, balance, and support missing in your life. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville, online at goodfeet.com.
How did your roof fare in the recent storms? If there's signs of wear and tear, address it before the problem becomes bigger. Cobex Construction Group understands the importance of a strong protective roof. The smallest leak can be the biggest problem. We provide homeowners with reliable roof repairs and replacements. Quality work and customer satisfaction are paramount to us. Get a new roof for zero down and low monthly payments. Call 1-800-NEW-ROOF for a no-obligation quote or visit trustcobex.com. Cobex Construction in Roseville. Do it once. Do it right.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. Good morning and happy Wednesday with your Sactown Sports headlines. I'm Jay Mars. The Sacramento Kings get ready for a crucial Game 5 matchup tonight with the Golden State Warriors at the G1C. Of course, this series is tied at 2-2, but the big headline for the last couple days has been about De'Aaron Fox's fracture in his left finger. While the Sacramento Kings listed him as doubtful, De'Aaron Fox had something else to say about that yesterday after practice.
No way answer, but I'm fine.
We'll keep you up to date all day long with De'Aaron's status for tonight's game. Our coverage starts at 2 p.m. with Cattles and Rami out at the Golden One Center. And of course, you can get tip-off at 7 right here on Sactown Sports with the G-Man, Gary Gerald. Coming up on today's show, Kings color analyst Kayte Christensen joins us at 8 a.m., followed by Bay Area reporter for ABC 7, Casey Pratt at 8:27, and former King and Kern analyst Kenny Thomas joins us at 9 from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. And if you missed any of those interviews today, make sure to check them out later on at SactownSports.com. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
Jason Ross, Carmichael Dave, Jay Mars. Game day, Game 5. Kings, Warriors. Series tied at 2. Home court is dominated. We're going to get into a little conversation here between Warriors and Lakers fans. But, Dave, as we went to break, you were talking about kind of the differences for Keegan Murray and, let's say, Paolo Banchero, what they had to go through in their rookie year.
Yeah, what are Paolo Banchero's numbers if he was on the Kings? And what are Keegan Murray's numbers? And we talked about this before. The benefit of not being what usually the Kings high pick is, which is the new savior, the guy with all the pressure. You know, what is Murray doing in Orlando, which is why it's so difficult to judge these guys after a year, because you got to do it. You got to make it happen. You have to execute. All credit. But again, if you throw Paolo Banchero on Sacramento, I don't think his numbers look the same. But I also don't know what Keegan Murray looks like as the number 1, maybe number 2 option on Orlando. That's always a fascinating thing for me.
Yeah, I think that's a really tough spot for those guys. And generally, I think Rookie of the Year is a guy that just ends up putting up numbers, and that's not a slight, but that's what Banchero did. And it sure looks like he's going to be a tremendous player. But, you know, I think there's every opportunity to go start, play as many minutes, take your bumps, but also get your stats, and he did just that, there's nothing wrong. That's what the organization wanted from him.
And as we switch over, one other thing, somebody brought this up on Twitter, and I totally agree. A name that we didn't mention, and a name just to keep an eye on. I remember, I think it was the first time we played Memphis this year. I was there, And I got to see at the end of the game Kenny Lofton Jr. come in. And I swear to God, I thought this guy won a contest. Like, what are you doing on the floor, dude? He does not look like your typical NBA player, but you see the agility and the moves from this guy, and then what he did in the G League. Then he dropped, 42 in a late season blowout. That's going to be a fun guy to watch as well. It's a great draft, Jason.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I know you've been having a conversation about fans, besides our great Kings fans, but Warrior fans and Laker fans. What do you got for us on this topic?
So I've put this poll out a couple of times, and I'm doing that for a reason. I just kind of want to check, and if the Kings were to make it to round 2, and for example, let's say it was against the Lakers, but I think this would work for Memphis as well. Who's the more annoying fan base? So this is the second iteration of this poll where I said, who's more annoying, the Warriors or Laker fans? And had a feeling going into these playoffs, all we've had to do is hold on to those Lakers series. We haven't had anything else, but we also didn't have social media back in 01, 02, 03. And sure enough, that first poll, Warrior fans were actually deemed more annoying by a pretty decent sample size of Kings fans, more annoying than Lakers fans. I want to say it was like 53-47. It was fairly close, but they got him. Yesterday, the final results, 3,600 people voted. Again, this isn't everybody, and you could have Laker fans and Warrior fans trying to screw the poll up, but generally when they're that big, it's a pretty decent sample. 58% of Kings fans say that the Warriors are the more annoying fan base. And I think today, I don't want to do it on a game day, but we'll see what happens today. I think a very interesting perspective too would be if I put Draymond Green out there and I said, which Kings playoff opponent drives you the most crazy? And I put Draymond, the late Kobe, let's say Rick Fox and Robert Horry. I think Draymond Green wins.
Yeah, you think based on recency or
Absolutely.
Okay.
And it kind of, the trash talk between fan base, if you're not on social media, and God bless you, you don't know anything about this. But if you have been, the trash talk between fan bases, the trash talk between media members has really just gotten crazy. And my hands are 100% dirty in that. It's been kind of a psychological dip. Like, well, why? And somebody said, well, it's because Kings fans don't know how to act. And obviously that's an insult. Kings fans don't know how to act. Warriors fans have been here forever and blah, 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 blah. And I thought about it. I go, you know what? In a certain aspect, there is truth to that in the sense that you have the least experienced. I mean, this fan base literally has zero experience on social media when it comes to the playoffs. Zero. And being that social media really came on the scene, in 2010-ish, you have the most experience with the Golden State Warriors. So you have a huge fan base, of which, and I'm being respectful here, a lot are bandwagon, but switch places. It'd be the same for the Kings if they were one of those titles. Right. That's not an insult. That are very used to this. And you have a lot of Kings folks on social media as well. They're like, hold on a second. Like, can we have one accomplishment? Can we do one thing right? I saw the numbers we talked about yesterday with the game being the highest rated, the series being the highest rated. Yeah. Almost every comment you see, they're posting that all these rounds, the highest rated game over the last since 2002, weirdly enough, involves Steph Curry. And it's like, yeah, there's no doubt Steph Curry is the biggest draw in the game. The Warriors are the biggest draw in the game. No one's trying to take that away from you, but these numbers are bigger than they were last year, the year before, the year before. The Kings have a little something to do with it. There is nothing that is more, I think, and you can apply this to world politics, warfare, anything you want in history. There is nothing more savagely fought over than power.
Right.
There is nothing in the world history more savagely fought over than someone who has power, prestige, territory, property, who might lose it, and they will fight until you have just absolutely annihilated them. And I feel like that's kind of where that Warrior fan base is. And again, I'm not trying to start garbage here. I just think They don't want to give a millimeter. And I think Kings fans are and there's bad apples on both sides, of course.
Sure.
Kings fans are like, hey, can we dip our beak a little bit here? This is good stuff. No, it's not. You're a loser. You're a poverty franchise. Go away. Shut up. You're irrelevant. Okay. And that's where it happens. No, we don't know how to act because we've never seen this before.
Well, I think the other part too about the intrigue of this series, what I found odd, I didn't really think about this or realize it, but the 8 playoff series, generally a lot of times you're going to see a bunch of 2-2 series. It's the only one. You had a 4-0, 6 series were 3-1, and this is the only one that's 2-2. I mean, it's been competitive, it's been thrilling. You got a rivalry, you got all the things that we read yesterday and kind of ranking the series. There's a lot of appeal to this one, and it's lived up to it, which has been great.
You have David versus Goliath. People love that. People are pre-conditioned to watch things that are familiar to them, and everyone loves an underdog. I would say the majority of non-Warrior fans are probably very much rooting for the Sacramento Kings, but that Warrior fan base worldwide is just so huge. So you have this perfect storm of teams who, by the way, aren't winning 91-89. These are two of the best offenses in NBA history. It's a very pretty watch, and that has been infused with drama, with controversy, with all kinds of storylines. And oh, by the way, the games, with the exception of the one in Golden State and San Francisco, have been incredibly competitive. But Jason, this is a role Kings fans are used to being in. We were the David versus the Goliath with the Lakers, and you fast forward 16, 17, 18, 20 years, they're the David now versus, let's be honest, this Goliath is bigger than the Lakers Goliath was. This is a more accomplished dynasty than the Lakers one was, and here we are again. So it's an absolute blast, and there's no doubt about it. This is by far, it's not close. Take the Kings Warriors series in the first round, put it on a pedestal. No offense to any other teams, but you got to put every other playoff series on another pedestal.
Well, tonight the loser will be on the brink of elimination. Last night we had 3 teams on the brink of elimination. 2 were gone. 2 are going fishing. 1 survived. We'll look at last night in the NBA playoffs when we come back.
The Kings dropped a heartbreaker to the Warriors in Game 4.
Harrison Barnes with a launch for 3. It's no good. It came off the heel as time expires.
With the series tied at 2, the Kings look to regain the series lead Wednesday at the Golden One Center. Our coverage starts with Cattles and Rami, live from Doko at 2 p.m., followed by tip-off at 7 on Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports first-round coverage is brought to you by
National Garage Door. Quality doors, quality people.
I studied Spanish in college and never got fluent. But then I tried Babbel.
Want the most effective way to learn another language? In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's bite-sized lessons will have you learning another language in as little as 3 weeks.
Babbel gets you speaking quickly about things you actually talk about in the real world.
University studies have shown that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a semester of college Spanish. If you want to learn a new language, there's no better way than Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try Babbel for free. That's Babbel.com.
Selling your home can be stressful. Scott Marsh here to tell you about Bridgehaven Homes. They are a local home buying company that offers homeowners an easier way to sell their home. Bridgehaven Homes gives you an all-cash offer for your home, no matter what the condition, within 24 hours. You pick the date you wish to close and sell on your terms. No repairs, no showings, and no realtor commissions. Call 916-299-6040. That's 916-299-6040 or bridgehavenhomes.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave telling you something you already know, which is your time is important. That's why at American Energy Heat and Air, they make shopping for a new furnace or air conditioner easier with their new online quoting tool. All you got to do is go to AmericanEnergyAir.com and get an instant quote now, today. Do it right now. It'll help you determine what system you'll need to get and provide the best pricing options, all from the comforts of your home. You don't have to have somebody come out and walk around your house and blah, blah, blah. Just do the quoting tool. It's so easy. AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be. A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. I absolutely love these folks. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
Hey, you.
Hey, you.
Get into my car. Who, me?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Oh, Billy Ocean.
Oh, my goodness. Last night, some good playoff basketball. Hopefully, we got great playoff basketball tonight at Golden One Center. There was 3 teams in trouble on the brink of elimination. And I think the one that survived may have surprised the most people, Dave, with Atlanta, an incredible comeback. So they stay alive. Boston can't put them away. They have to go back to Atlanta. But let's go to our update desk where we have a developing story. Jay Mars, what can you tell us about Game 6?
Well, you say they're going back to Atlanta, or are they? Because that game is scheduled to take place on April 27th. Hey, that's tomorrow. Little bit of an issue. The venue that it's supposed to take place in also is booked a Janet Jackson with Ludacris concert. Yep, that's State Farm Arena in Atlanta.
They didn't even believe the Hawks would get to 6.
Yeah, let me throw it.
Also, by the way, real quick, Dave, I know you like to take polls.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can, I don't know, geographically make one towards the city of Atlanta. Which would they rather see, a Hawks Game 6 or a Janet Luda concert? Because I would guarantee you,
we know who wins
80% or more vote for Janet and Luda.
Honestly, you could take Janet out of there. You could just do Luda.
Of course.
Atlanta, and it's going to be 80%. Janet probably makes it 90 to 95%. We do have an update on your update, by the way. I'll throw in there. The Atlanta Hawks have won the tug of war with Janet Jackson and Ludacris. They will now they will play at State Farm Arena as originally scheduled. They have moved Janet and Luda, I believe, to the following day. So who knows what they had to pay that
a lot.
Come on, Hawks. What have you done for me lately?
Hawks fans are going to protest the way they always do. They're not going to go to the game.
Right. You could have had it at Georgia Tech and nobody would have cared. But yeah, that's a little embarrassing when they look at the schedule and go, oh, they're not going to make it that far against the Celtics. And they almost didn't, Jason. That was Trae Young is the king of the no, yes shots.
Yes.
The cajones you need to take a logo shot to save the season on the road. And he nailed it, man. He nailed it.
The body language of Boston after they lost was like, we have to get on a plane. and go to it. Like I'm pretty sure they think they're going to win this series. Now you mess around, you get, you just never know, but they just were like, oh man, we had this up 10 in the fourth quarter. And credit to Atlanta, credit to Trae Young playing without DeJounte Murray. That was a heck of a win that I personally did not see coming.
No, it's called playing with your food, man. 37-25 in the fourth quarter. I don't want to take credit away from the Hawks, but there's no business this game, this series going to 6. But it is because the Celtics completely crapped the bed in the fourth quarter. Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart were terrible in the fourth quarter. And again, you play with your food. Now, guess what? You're right. You got to get on a plane. You got to check into another hotel. It's not just one more game. It's the whole process. And when you're trying to win a championship, and by the way, your biggest roadblock to making the Eastern Conference Finals is on the verge of being eliminated. You have a gift given to you. This may be, in the end, if Boston's raising the Larry O.B. in a couple months, this may be what they point to and go, okay, we're done screwing around now.
Yeah. Let's look at the West, where 2 other teams did advance, 2 also go home and go fishing. Let's start with the teams going fishing first, Dave. Disappointing seasons, to say the least, for the Clippers and for Minnesota. Let's start with Minnesota, who lost to Denver. I thought they battled. I mean, to me, they were just overmatched, but I go back to the offseason where they make what is a bold move. I mean, for sure, to get Rudy Gobert. I know they can look at injuries to Towns during the year. They've got a stud in Edwards. There's no doubt about that. But do you think their offseason is looking at, hey, let's run it back with Gobert and Towns for a full year? Or do they try to clean up one of those bigs and see if they can tweak the team a little bit and really feature Edwards with one of those big guys?
I don't know that they can clean it up. And if they do, it's almost certainly got to be Karl Anthony Towns that goes. I don't know how you got Rudy Gobert after a year. I want to shout out our friend Andy Bailey, who's been on the show before. If the Kings do not advance, if the Kings are at some point eliminated, I think the team I'm going to adopt more than any is the Denver Nuggets. They are. I don't remember the last time I've seen the disrespect, not just for the Nuggets, but for Nikola Jokic in a sense. I want to point out a tweet he grabbed from a Timberwolves account. It said, "This playoff series has made me realize Nikola Jokic isn't as good as I thought he was. Just one of the referee favorites." Andy Bailey points out, in the playoff series against the Timberwolves, Nikola Jokic averaged 26.2 points, 12.4 rebounds, 9 assists, 1.2 steals, 48.5% from the field, 50% from beyond the arc, against a 2-big lineup that included a perennial defensive player of the year. Anthony Edwards actually led the series in free throw attempts. I don't get, it's not just the disrespect, but it's the incorrect disrespect when the numbers are right at you.
Yeah.
The guy is a defensive issue, all that we can have that conversation, but my God, what he was able to do against that 2-big lineup is phenomenal.
Right. And the Minnesota could have had a third big if Naz Reid was. I mean, that team is loaded with bigs. I think it was probably the right team to face Denver. Now they just didn't have enough. So Denver advances. They're going to get Phoenix. I think that's going to be a tremendous series. If we look at Phoenix and the Clippers get eliminated. Dave, we knew a great team was going to be going home. For the Clippers, though, it's probably the what could be or what could have been. But I think that's what the whole time with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard has been. It's like they're great when they're all there together, and they're not all there together enough.
It's such a tough spot for them. Because first off, how do you of course you can move Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Of course you can. But what are you getting back for those guys that they're in the 30s? They're not getting any younger. So they've had injury issues quite a bit. Are you now relying on them to not be as injured when they get older? And it certainly may happen. Listen, I've been burned before on this. We all have. When was it the Suns, I think, signed Chris Paul to that giant contract extension years ago. And it was like, what are you doing? And I think there was times in Houston where people had the question, it was Chris Paul losing it. Oh, here we are. Chris Paul is still, he's not Chris Paul, but he's still doing just fine with yet another team leading them deeper into the playoffs. So there is precedent for players to figure it out even in their early 30s. But with the Clippers, man, I don't know. I don't know how you move off of either of those guys.
Sets up a great next round series. Phoenix and Denver, they're going to get started this weekend, actually, before potentially some Game 7s they will play on Saturday. All right, we've got completed 1 hour. When we come back, De'Aaron Fox is in. He's going to give it a go. Will the Kings rally behind De'Aaron? We've got that next.
Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Sinking, that's going to get down for a hit. Around third to score is Tony Kemp. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sactown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sactown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
Hey there. Good morning. Jason Ross here again to tell you about my friends ACR Solar. Go to acrsolar.com. ACR Solar and home services as well. And again, solar's in their name, pool solar, home solar. They have that. But for us, it was their roofing department, basically, their home services area. We got a brand new roof late last summer, and we were homeowners for nearly 20 years. Our home, when we bought it, we knew we'd need a new roof at some point, and we reached that point last summer. And thank goodness we took care of it, because we had put it off for a couple of years, certainly when we were more shut down during the early days of COVID. You know, you just weren't interested in doing much of anything outside of your home. So we're like, what are we going to do? We're going to add anything, change anything? Well, we need to do the roof at some point. Well, like I said, that point came last summer, and we took care of it. And thanks to ACR Solar and Home Services, they were amazing. They were so thorough in their communication, and the follow-through was great. It's a big thing for us. When you tell us when you're going to come, are you going to arrive at that time in that window and show up and day to day what they were going to deliver and what they were going to do. And they were so complete and thorough, and the follow-through was awesome. The end result, a brand new roof. It looks great. We feel great about it. Have peace of mind at homeowners, and the quality of work is phenomenal. So check them out. All the different things they provide, like I said, solar, home services, go to acrsolar.com.
Right now, spring is at the Home Depot, and it's time to get growing. Whether you're planting vegetables or herbs, or just sprucing up your indoor space with lush 6-inch Vigoro Tropicals, we have what you need to get your season started. Visit your local Home Depot garden center today and shop our easy-to-grow, bigger, bolder tropicals, like peace lilies, dracaena, or ficus plants. Do your spring at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Product varies by store.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Wednesday starts out comfortably. Temperatures in the lower 50s. Heading into the afternoon, a bit warmer today with bright sunshine and less wind. Highs will climb to the upper 80s to low 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down in a heartbeat. So remember to be a little more alert on the road and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
The folks at M&S Auto know that inflation is tough on everybody. If you need an excellent, gently used car or truck, M&S has hundreds of vehicles on the lot on El Camino, just off the Cap City Freeway. M&S customers get great deals, and they save thousands. Get a great deal now on super clean 4x4s, including Tacomas, Silverados, and Jeeps, and muscle cars, Challengers, Teslas, Mustangs, and even the occasional McLaren. M&S Auto, msautogroup.com.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network. Well, the A's have a great story in pitcher Mason Miller. Diagnosed with juvenile diabetes in 2018, he got bigger and stronger, and by the time he made his big league debut on the last homestand against the Cubs, after only 28 2/3 innings in the minor leagues, he threw 15 pitches at 100 miles an hour or faster, topping out at 102.5.
Now batting, Xfinity Internet. It's made to do anything, so you can do anything. Supercharge your home with incredibly fast and powerful supersonic Wi-Fi. With 3 times more bandwidth, it covers all the bases and then some. And strike out billions of threats with advanced security that helps keep you safe at home and on the go. If you're keeping score, that's internet that does it all. That's unbeatable internet from Xfinity, proud partner of the Oakland Athletics. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas.
Hey, Scott, you look great.
Yeah, I'm feeling good and have a new job.
No, there's something different about the way you look.
To be honest, a few months ago, I had an amazing robotic hair transplant procedure at XL Medicine. It's called the Artist Procedure.
No way. Your hair looks completely natural, and you don't even have a scar. How did they do that?
Dude, the Artist system is amazing. I have this fantastic hairline, and I'm happy with my results. XL Medicine could probably help you too, buddy.
Using the Artist Procedure, Dr. Singh and Dr. Graywall can target and harvest healthy hair follicles with micron-level accuracy from the back of your head and transplant them where you need it. The procedure is painless, and you'll be back doing your regular activities in a couple of days. Ask Dr. Singh and Dr. Graywall at XL Medicine about the Artist Procedure. Call today, 916-932-4470. That's 932-4470 for a complimentary in-person or Zoom consultation. Or on the web at xlmedicine.com. That's EXCEL medicine.com. See what the Artist Procedure can do for you.
These are actors and not real patients. Jiffy Lube's Country in the Park, Northern California's biggest country music festival of the year, is back May 5th and 6th at Cal Expo, starring Lady A, Chris Young, Brett Eldridge, and so many more. Plus, a Boots Boot and Line Dance Saloon, interactive lounges, and Sacramento's best food trucks. Weekend passes start at just $80. Tickets are on sale now at SactownSports.com. Country in the Park, brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort, Hanley's Western Wear, and Quick Pack Car Wash.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
KH2KAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the flagship station of your Sacramento Kings.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines. Good morning and happy Wednesday with your Sactown Sports headlines. I'm Jay Mars. The Sacramento Kings get ready for a crucial Game 5 matchup tonight with the Golden State Warriors at the G1C. Of course, this series is tied at 2-2, but the big headline for the last couple days has been about De'Aaron Fox's fracture in his left finger. While the Sacramento Kings listed him as doubtful, De'Aaron Fox had something else to say about that yesterday after practice.
No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm fine.
We'll keep you up to date all day long with De'Aaron's status for tonight's game. Our coverage starts at 2 p.m. with Cattles and Rami out at the Golden One Center. And, of course, you can get tip-off at 7 right here on Sactown Sports with the G-Man, Gary Gerald. Coming up on today's show, Kings color analyst Kayte Christensen joins us at 8 a.m., followed by Bay Area reporter for ABC 7, Casey Pratt at 8:27, and former King and current analyst Kenny Thomas joins us at 9 from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. And if you missed any of those interviews today, make sure to check them out later on at SactownSports.com. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
1 hour from now, Kayte Christensen will be joining us. Kayte will be on the call tonight. Kings Warriors, of course, the game right here on Sactown Sports. Game 5, series tied at 2. Huge game this evening. Want to remind you and thank all of you that are checking us out each and every morning here on our YouTube page at Sactown Sports. See Carmichael Dave's palatial estate there, all the goodies. Just nice to... You got a lot to look at there, Dave, in the background.
Yeah, it's a mess. I don't know. My daughter brought home a piñata I guess.
Yeah, is that what that is?
Something for school.
Is it a pepper?
It's a red pepper.
Yeah.
It looks like I'm doing a Chili's commercial. So there's that. My wife's commemorative Woodford Reserve for the Kentucky Derby. Of course, we got the King's skull, and then later today, I'm going to pull my hard hat out with Kenny.
Yes,
and, we're gonna bump helmets. So looking forward to that at 9 a.m.
Well, while you're over there, hit that thumbs up button. We appreciate that. Right at the bottom of the screen, easy to do. We appreciate that. Dave, the rallying cry. De'Aaron Fox said it. I think everybody's going to be talking about it. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm playing. I loved hearing it. I think we all thought so, but just hearing that at practice yesterday was, I don't know, to me a little bit of a jolt. I think we said it yesterday. We assumed he was going to give it a go, but it was just nice to hear him say it kind of with that confidence. Like, yeah, I'm playing.
Yeah, it's funny because, and I'd be curious when the whole season's done, just to, when we're doing exit interviews, to ask Mike Brown, because we talked about this yesterday. I said, if I'm the Kings, I don't give them anything. We're gonna try to figure it out one way or the other, and blah 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 blah, and et cetera, and then make them work on some other things. And I'm talking about the Warriors.
Yeah,
but they threw that out the window, and they went, no, I'm playing no matter what. Which, of course, as a fan, I love that. But then I was also thinking, well, strategically, like, why not? What's the upside of that? And then the cynical part of me went, okay, let me really try to conspiracy this thing. And oh God, is he not going to be effective? Is he not feeling that great? Are they trying to throw him off there? Is this a double reverse fake? Nah, because we saw him shooting yesterday. We saw him doing a lot of stuff. So I guess they said, screw it. We don't care about any of that misdirection crap. You're going to beat us, and you're going to beat us straight up.
Yeah, it's funny listening to they made De'Aaron available, but I think Davion and Coach Brown, were more, we'll see how he gives, Davion was very much like, yeah, he was here, but not even sure what they're going to do. And then De'Aaron's like, yeah, no ifs, ands, or buts, I'm playing. And which is fine. De'Aaron was more direct. He was also asked about the injury. Here was De'Aaron's response.
I have to play with protection on it. Like if I don't play with the protection and it does get hit, then I'll probably have to get like a screw in it. So, what I'm wearing, like, I think the big thing for me was, could I feel the pad of my finger? Like, if you're playing basketball, you're throwing a ball, like you want to be able to feel the ball on your finger. So that was a big thing for me. And it's protecting what it needs to protect. So it's been fine.
He did add, Dave, that, his ball handling felt fine. He was most concerned about shooting and said it felt okay. So, today's a new day. I hope it's slightly better or the same. And obviously he knows it's going to be tested. I should point out, too, that we've all put out like that video where he kind of 4.5 to go maybe in the game, and he goes to lay it up and Looney hits it. He said it actually happened before that, a few sequences before. I think it was Poole and Wiggins both kind of slapped down and hit his hand. But he said that Looney play is kind of maybe when he felt it a little bit more. So whatever, it happened in the fourth quarter, and he played with it on Sunday.
Dirty. They're trying to injure him. Dirty. Yes. Where were the refs on this? Why are there suspensions? It happens. It's a physical series. It's unfortunate. I know from the Warriors' point of view, too, while this might be a strategic good thing for them if De'Aaron's not healthy, the last thing they want, and the last thing any team wants, I would hope, would be for somebody else to be injured. You want to beat them straight up. You don't want excuses. You don't want any of that crap. So it's just a matter tonight of going out, and for De'Aaron, it's just pain tolerance, it sounds like. And I'm not worried about that. I have no doubt in my mind that De'Aaron Fox can play through a mass amount of pain. It just comes down to, like he was talking about, the pad of his finger and the different technicalities. Can he be effective? Are we going to see some errant passes? Or are we going to see him having issues with, the simple stuff? Maybe the shot's on, but how's the crossover? How is well, I guess the Euro step wouldn't be effective, but how's his handle? I think I'm going to look tonight as much at his handle and his passing as I am going to look at his shot by itself. I think that's really going to tell us a story probably as early as the first quarter.
And to me, one area that I'm really locking in on, because let's be honest, game 3 is the one that got away. I mean, that the Warriors won. I don't even know that they were that great in that game, but the Kings didn't have a chance to win. Warriors dominated. Games 1, game 2, and game 4 basically came down to the last 3 minutes.
Yep.
And there's no one better in the league this year statistically. He wins the clutch award. So if we assume, Dave, that this is, I don't know, we'll give it a 2-possession game with 3 minutes to go, which a lot of games are, this has been the best player in the league at that moment. And so that to me is where you go, all right, Mike Brown, the coaching staff, De'Aaron himself have to be honest with themselves and look at, okay, how did he play for the first, how many ever minutes he played in that first 45? And can he be the guy that you count on at the end? And my gut is telling me yes, but that could be a critical moment and decision they have to look at tonight.
Well, and there's a perspective here, which, as silly as it sounds, this is where his injury in that very specific situation, this is where his injury could actually be a good thing for the Sacramento Kings, and I'll explain.
Okay.
At the end of Game 4, Draymond Green, Steve Kerr, everybody talked about it. We're going to let them get the ball in, but we are absolutely not letting De'Aaron Fox take that shot. We know they want him to take that shot. He's a clutch player of the year. We know he can make that shot. We're not going to allow that. We're going to let somebody else beat us. They knew that was the case. Well, now, and I think the first 3.5 quarters are going to tell them a lot about this,
Sure.
but it's not a guarantee now, because now all of a sudden you have that little bit of doubt in the Warriors' heads. Well, is De'Aaron taking the last shot? How is his finger after 3.5 quarters? How effective has he been? Obviously, if De'Aaron's got 38 going into the last play of the game, this whole thing is moot. But it's not just doubt for Kings fans and maybe some trepidation for the Kings themselves. This also is going to change up a little bit of how the Warriors have to game plan, because they don't know how effective he is, and they need to have a backup plan just in case.
Yeah, and I think the other part of the psyche part of this, of what does it do for the rest of the Kings players, knowing that De'Aaron's going to give it a go? And maybe it could be as simple as they knew all along, but I go back to during the season when Sabonis, I mean, we said it all along, Dave, that was kind of the fragile point of the year when they had a terrible home loss to Washington. He hurts his hand, and you're thinking, oh, man, is this 6 to 8 weeks? And he misses one game and then plays, and he played great. And I felt like from that point on, everybody had to go, well, man, Sabonis is playing through this, and look at what he's doing playing through this. And then tonight, to see De'Aaron play, he's one of your most important pieces. He's been so good in this series. I just feel like there's some sort of boost that you get. The Warriors, when Wiggins came back, his first game was Game 1. They all said, man, it was great to have him back. He looks good. He belongs. He completes our team. I think there is a little bit of a mental kick in a positive way for the Kings, besides what you get with De'Aaron, but also going, look, our guy is here and he's playing.
Well, and it's also a matter of who's going to step up if that's necessary. I know at 9:13, we're going to take a look in the wins the Kings had this year without De'Aaron Fox. I think there were 4 of them.
Yeah.
We're going to look at the numbers of those who did step up, and there were folks that did step into those shoes. But now, hey, listen, it's Game 5. It's a 2-2 series score. We haven't even really mentioned yet, but probably the most memorable game in Sacramento Kings history was a Game 5.
Yep.
Against another Goliath in a series that I believe was tied 2-2 at the time.
Yes, monster moment.
And it was a home series. And now, of course, I'm talking about the Mike Bibby shot and everything that happened in Game 5 versus the Lakers in 0-2. And Jason, I just keep thinking about this. Which do you think? Because this is totally in play, dude. It really is. I can't tell you if there's a Game 7 who's going to win. But I was just thinking, we don't know what's going to happen, which is the toughest part. But what if the Warriors win tonight and then the Kings take Game 6 and then there's a Game 7? Is anyone going to be alive in this town to watch that Game 7? Because that will have spent a lot of people, myself included.
Yeah, that's the thing I've been bringing up. I feel like if the Kings win tonight, I think there'll be portions of people that'll just think the Warriors will win Game 6 and we've got a Game 7.
Yeah.
And very likely that. Whereas if it's vice versa, if the Warriors win tonight, I bet the majority of people, national and local, will think that the series is over.
Absolutely. It will. Yes, you're 100% correct. If the Kings win tonight, which gives them a 3-2 series lead, 2 games left, 1 at home, I don't know that anyone, including in this town, and I'll take a freaking stick to anyone who says the series is over. No funerals. by the way.
Right. No.
I don't think anybody here would do that. I know nobody nationally would do that. Again, barring injury or something catastrophic. But yeah, if the Warriors come in here and they're able to take a 3-2 lead going back home, the series will effectively be completely over. And somebody on the text line, we haven't paid attention to that today at 916-339-1140. They're asking a really good question too. Forget the play in Game 5. Has anybody asked De'Aaron Fox, how is this going to affect Call of Duty for him? I mean, he's a big gamer, man.
Yeah.
That's your mouse finger. So now all of a sudden, I mean, you got to be very precise on that. So is De'Aaron Fox looking at a summer where he's got to play like whatever that Wee Island jungle?
He works on his offhand.
Yes. He's
Yes.
gonna have to play some RPG game or something like that instead of his shooting games. Either way, it's all coming down to tonight. This has been just such a wonderful series, and really, it's everything we could have asked for and more, except for, of course, for a Kings sweep. I would have asked for that first.
That we would have all taken that for sure. It's a huge Game 5. We've got more of a preview on that coming up when we come back. 3 for Madness, brought to you by our friends at Fire Wings. 3 questions, 3 answers, just 90 seconds away here on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sactown Sports is Sacramento's new home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Feels awesome. We deserve this. Let's go, Niners!
Purdy.
Purdy going to throw, and it is Kittle in the back of the end zone.
Samuel.
Debo 10. Debo. Touchdown!
And McCaffrey.
Touchdown! CMC!
They all live here on Sactown Sports.
Your official home for 49ers football.
At Progressive, we know how much you love your recreational vehicles, so we decided to record this commercial in an RV.
With the family on vacation.
Mom, who are these people?
Oh, that's Flo and Jamie. They're recording a commercial, sweetie.
Don't they do that in the studio?
Oh, normally.
No.
But we wanted to feature a family who bundled their home and RV and saved with Progressive.
Yeah, it looks like you're all out of chips.
Okay, I think we'll just drop you off at the next gas station.
Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right, it is time for 3 for Madness, all brought to you by the great folks at Fire Wings. 21 delicious flavors. All good.
It's intimidating, though, really.
It is, because there's so many choices.
I know.
So much good stuff. Hey, Carmichael Dave, I'd like you to meet my friend Jay Mars. Jay Mars is Carmichael Dave.
Hi, Dave. How's things going? How's life?
I'm having a brain freeze. I was trying to think about it at the end of the last
Why
segment.
are you having a Slurpee right now?
I know. Dude, you probably know. What is the Nintendo Switch game that everyone played during the pandemic, and you're on an island and you're like building forts and stuff?
On Switch?
Yeah, I was on Switch. My wife played it
Animal Crossing?
Thank you. Okay. That was what I was trying to. I'm like Jungle Island or something. I could not remember it. You know those earbuds where I can't think of anything else. I'm trying to search it down. So thank you. Animal Crossing. De'Aaron Fox is going to have to play Animal Crossing instead of Call of Duty this summer because his finger's going to be hurt. Back to you.
I've heard Animal Crossing's really fun. I've never played.
It's too. Hey, you want to talk about intimidating? Because of 21 choices at Fire Wings, try playing Animal Crossing, dude. I'm all
21 different animals to choose from.
Exactly.
Hey guys, I don't know if you know this, but Keegan Murray finished 5th in the Rookie of the Year voting that was released yesterday. In his future, will Keegan win an NBA award?
Sorry, did you guys just get this breaking news? Sorry to throw this whole thing off. Kawhi Leonard has been diagnosed with a torn meniscus.
Yeah, we were just talking about it.
We were just talking about that. I apologize.
Just off air, yeah.
I just saw that. Okay.
That's brutal.
That is just absolutely brutal. All right. Sorry. 5th in the Rookie of the Year voting, Keegan Murray. Will he win an NBA award? Yeah. A freaking championship. Because honestly, I don't know what
technically that counts.
Yeah. I honestly don't. And I mean this with all love. let's just go down it. I don't think he's going to win a scoring title. He's not going to win a rebounding title. I don't think he'll win the assist crown.
He could win a most improved player.
That's the one I was thinking he could get as most improved.
Okay, because I was thinking he's not going to be a sixth man. I was just trying to find maybe most improved. Yeah, that would actually be the one. Although I feel like Keegan Murray is going to be like steady Eddie Clymer, where we're just going to look up in 4 years and he's averaging 24 and 8 and blah blah blah. I'm really excited to see him add more and more to his game and his NBA body and the whole set of skills he's going to have. If they had a highest floor IQ award, I could see him winning that. So I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it's going to be the Larry O.B. trophy.
Yeah, I think it's going to be difficult. Look, there's only a few awards a year. I don't know where he falls in that. There's other but I love where his ceiling is. I think he's just beginning his career here on where he can get. I think there's a lot more they can get to. We talked about it before, Dave, that the organization, Monty McNair, when they really dove into the numbers, thought De'Aaron had so much more growth to get to, even when he was playing great. They're saying the exact same things about De'Aaron. So to me, that's encouraging as a fan of Keegan. It's encouraging as a fan of this team. I just think if he's got that kind of growth, that we should all be excited. But getting an award will be tough for him to get.
Yeah.
Question 2.
The NFL draft begins tomorrow, and we are hardly even talking about it. Why is that? I'm going to have you guys pick a reason. Number 1, the 49ers don't pick until the 3rd round. Number 2, you're just not as into it this college class. And number 3, the Kings, baby.
The cop-out here is yes, because I do believe that all 3 of those play in. I don't care. First off, I've never been a massive NFL draft guy to begin with. It's like, okay, you're watching 2, maybe 3 days, and some people just lose it, and God bless them. But you're watching this draft coverage for 2 or 3 days in which you could spend 5 minutes waiting 3 days, and then now, hey, I know where everybody got picked. And then you're hearing all these experts doing an impossible job. I mean, they are experts. They spend their lives looking at college film and rating these people. I don't blame them, but you're asking them to predict what used to be children 6 months ago are now going to do in a professional league where you're always going to have bad choices and good choices. It's just the luck of the draw. And we're going to see how they're going to do next year. It's all just draft coverage to me in really any sport, but especially the NFL. It's like the most inane, boring, lazy sports talk you can have, but there's an appetite for it, and you got to respect that and serve the audience. I'm just not into it.
Yeah, I think partly, I think the most exciting one for me recently was when the 49ers traded up a couple years ago, and it was a Trey Lance. Is it going to be Mac Jones? Is it going to be Justin Fields? That was really intriguing because what are these guys doing? What do they see here? What's the plan? That to me became very, very interesting. I think it's the combination to me, not even a combination. I think it's 100% for me, the Kings. So engrossed in what they're doing. This series has been great. It's been a long drought. I think we would have been into it anyway, but the stakes are high. It's a huge Game 5 tonight, and I'm with you, Dave. The draft, to me, the NFL draft, I'll keep an eye on it. I kind of know what's happened, but I kind of wait till it to end too and just see, okay, these guys landed there. It's just too much to know that left tackle from Oregon is going to be drafted that high. It's just hard to follow all of that.
I do want to say, make sure you stay tuned to Sactown Sports 1140 for all of your NFL draft coverage as we follow what the Niners are going to do as they try to run to the Super Bowl. We got you covered.
For sure.
Question 3.
Will Trey Lance be traded before the start of the upcoming NFL season?
I don't believe a word John Lynch says one way or the other, and that's how it should be, by the way. That's how it should be with a general manager. I think they're going to have to get an offer that – look, the 49ers, unfortunately, right now are in a position where they're at the blackjack table and they're losing pretty decently, but their wife just won a jackpot at the slot machine. And you got to decide with a new dealer coming in. Here's the thing, which is worse? You hold on to Trey Lance. He, sits behind Brock Purdy. He doesn't do anything. He's just dead weight on your team. Or I think even worse, you trade Trey Lance, the guy that you spent so much draft capital grabbing, a guy who has had a cup of coffee as a number 3 pick. This guy has not had a legit shot yet because of injury. And you trade him for pennies on the dollar and he goes somewhere else and shines. That's the nightmare. I don't envy him. And I think it's going to have to be an ego trade, Jason. I think somebody's going to have to overpay a little bit to get him off the Niners.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't think it's going to happen. I think you say yes to if you're the Niners, if you get a deal, you can't refuse. But I don't think Trey Lance is in the spot to give the Niners that deal they can't refuse. It would be more of a trade, to your point, that they're doing pennies on the dollar or just to clean up the quarterback room. I don't think that's why you trade anybody. The team is, and these young quarterbacks are still in their infancy. Purdy was great. He's injured. He's going to be recovering right near the start of the season. Sam Darnold is on his 3rd team. I think you like to have him in your quarterback room, but I don't think they should eliminate the thought of Trey Lance still being a possibility here for this team until they know that for certain, until they know they've got the known quantities on the other end. So I would say he's still going to be a 49er, partly because of an asset, partly because he would be traded at a lower value than he should be, at least I think. So I think he stays a San Francisco 49er. All right, we've covered 3 for Madness. Thanks again to Fire Wings, our sponsor there. When we come back, guys, we're talking. Finally, everybody had a day off, and then the practice yesterday. We'll hear from some of the Warriors and from some of the Kings for this Game 5. That's all straight ahead here on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Get to Acura of Stockton, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. And right now, lease a new Acura TLX, MDX, or Integra with low lease rates available. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you find the right customers. Spread awareness of your product or services. We can help build trust in your brand and services with a digital marketing campaign. Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing campaigns that deliver results. Don't wait. Get started today. Contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Great team, great team. Where's the defense? Defense! Okay, everyone take a break. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here for the Good Feet store, asking, when is something too good to be true? When it probably is. And had I not experienced it for myself, this spectacular season would definitely qualify as too good to be true. So everyone out there in radio land, continue to enjoy. Something else that could seem too good to be true is Good Feet Arch Supports. But trust me, I've experienced firsthand the comfort, balance, and support possible with Good Feet Arch Supports. And so have countless others who have pretty much given up hope. It's time you felt good again. Take your feet to the Good Feet store for a free personalized arch support fitting and test walk. Experience for yourself the comfort, balance, and support missing in your life. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville, online at goodfeet.com.
Good morning, Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good morning and happy Wednesday with your Sactown Sports headlines. I'm Jay Mars. The Sacramento Kings get ready for a crucial Game 5 matchup tonight with the Golden State Warriors at the G1C. Of course, this series is tied at 2-2, but the big headline for the last couple days has been about De'Aaron Fox's fracture in his left finger. While the Sacramento Kings listed him as doubtful, De'Aaron Fox had something else to say about that yesterday after practice.
No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm fine.
We'll keep you up to date all day long with De'Aaron's status for tonight's game. Our coverage starts at 2 p.m. with Cattles and Rami out at the Golden One Center. And, of course, you can get tip-off at 7 right here on Sactown Sports with the G-Man, Gary Gerald. Coming up on today's show, Kings color analyst Kayte Christensen joins us at 8 a.m., followed by Bay Area reporter for ABC 7, Casey Pratt at 8:27, and former King and Kern analyst Kenny Thomas joins us at 9 from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. And if you missed any of those interviews today, make sure to check them out later on at SactownSports.com. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
Welcome back. I got a question for you guys. Okay, I know we're going to get to sound and all that, and Jay just mentioned we're going to have Kayte coming on in about a half an hour to Analyst Wednesday. Kenny Thomas will join us at 9 o'clock, and I'm really looking forward to this conversation, A's fans. We're going to break it up a little bit at 8:27. Casey Pratt, who has been on the A's saga from day one, he's going to join us and see if there's some similarities between the door being slightly open for the Sacramento Kings way back when and the door being open slightly perhaps for the Oakland A's. But Jason, before we got to the audio, I wanted to piggyback off of 3 for just a little mini 4 for madness here based on our last question. Fellas, please, for me, before we get to Kings audio, rank in order of most likely to least likely to play for a different team at the start of the season next year. This is a Trey edition. Trey Lance, Trey Young, Trey Lyles. All of which could be moving, by the way.
Most likely Trey Lyles, followed by Trey Young, followed by Trey Lance.
Wow, that surprises me that you put. I expected Young to be last for you. Okay.
No, I think there's a better chance of Trey Young getting traded than Trey Lance.
I'm going to go Trey Lyles, Trey Lance, Trey Young.
Contrarian.
I think that's what I would do.
I'm going off of contract. I mean, Trey Lyles is a free agent. I mean, I think the Kings would like to keep him.
He's going to get a nice deal, though, no matter what.
And I'm not saying, Jay, I'm not saying you're wrong at all. There is definitely the door open, especially with new management in there for Trey Young to go somewhere. You're right about Trey Lyles. I'm so sad.
And my thing with Trey Lance is I'm at the point where I feel like they would have traded him already. Yeah, I feel like that would have already happened. I feel like, all right, 2 years, swallow your pride. All right, trade didn't work out, draft didn't work out. We got Brock Purdy, try to get something for Trey. I just don't really think there's a huge market out there for him right now. So it's kind of at that point where it's like, all right, well, might as well hang on to him because you're best, getting a conditional 6th round pick at this point for Trey Lance?
Am I missing any Treys? By the way, I was thinking, I don't think that matter to the conversation.
Trey Burke.
Trey Burke?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, back to you.
Party Trey? I don't know. I was just thinking of
Ice Trey.
other Treys.
Ice Trey. That's where I was going. Good job.
Yeah. Hey, our coverage here of our first round of the playoffs brought to you by National Garage Door. National Garage Door, quality doors, quality people. Let's get some reaction from those involved in this playoff series. We start with the head coach, Mike Brown, and the situation the Kings are in right now, tied at 2 games apiece.
Hey, it's really encouraging from the standpoint, again, you guys are freaking champions. They've been through it. This is our first time trying to figure out how to get past the first round. And again, we may have had guys in the playoffs, but, at what level and at what impact did they make to help their team get to the second round? Not only that, we're going against, like I said already, the NBA champions. So if you sit here and you ask me, how would you feel about 2-2? Yeah, I wish it was 4-0 and we were moving on. But we're 2-2. We took care of what we're supposed to at home. They took care of what they're supposed to at home. Now it's a 3-game series. Let's see if we got enough to get it done.
Yeah, Dave, sometimes the cliches can come true or play to fruition. I mean, really, the Kings have taken care of that home court business, as did the Warriors. And the reality is the Warriors still have to win at Golden One Center. They know it. They probably feel confident because they could have won game 1 or even game 2. They didn't. They've got to figure out whatever that little difference is to get them over the hump, while the Kings just go, look, if we win game 5 and 7, we're moving on.
It's so dramatic in the moment, but so far the series has gone exactly how it's supposed to have gone. There's been a lot in the margins.
Sure.
But the higher seeded team has home court advantage against one of the worst road teams in the NBA during the regular season. And obviously you can throw a lot of that out because of health and because it's the postseason. But the bottom line is the Warriors, on the other hand, are a far better home team than the Kings were. And you figure at some point something has to crack. What's happened? The higher seed has won their 2 games at home. The slightly lower seed, and I think everyone can be honest here. Let's just, with the exception of the home court advantage, these guys are the same seeds. I mean, the Warriors are not your typical 6 seed. They've taken care of business at home. You have one outlier in the entire series, and that was game 3, where they blew the Kings off the floor. But thank goodness, as we said, a blowout loss is still just one loss. The Kings had every chance to win that game in game 4. And honestly, there was a meltdown by the Warriors towards the end that really could have been a legendary meltdown. Hey, listen, Chris Webber, we're not talking about that if Michigan beats North Carolina. We're not talking about his time. He's not the only guy to call a timeout when there's no timeouts. If Steph Curry calls a timeout, which results in that tech, and then the 3, and the Kings come back and they snatch that game, and they go on to win the series, that's not going to be as bad as blowing a 3-1 lead, but you better believe that's probably going to be the second thing everybody goes to for the rest of Steph Curry's career when it comes to something like that. The memes would be off the chart. That's not what happened, and here we are. It's 2-2. The Kings are at home. They're a little dinged up, but and by the way, Golden State 1.5-point favorites tonight. Last time I checked, that Golden one.
And it dropped from, I think, about 4.5 before the news about Fox saying no ifs, ands, or buts, I'm playing, down to 1.5. So it's been a tight series. The games have been close. Games 1, 2, and 4 were all right up for grabs. And interesting, let's hear from the other side, from Steve Kerr, talking about how that game 1 and game 2, though they were losses, has given them confidence.
I look at games 1 and 2 and in Sacramento, and despite not playing very well, especially offensively, turning it over, we gave ourselves a chance by defending in the half court. And I think that's what's different about our team right now. Rather than say, well, it's been this way all year, we're different now. We're much better defensively. This is the best offensive team in the league. And through 4 games, done a pretty good job on them. So now that we are, I guess, more whole, with Gary and Wiggs, and we have more options defensively, I think we're much more capable of winning on the road, because that's what you have to do, is you've got to defend and get stops and get rebounds to win on the road.
And so, I mean, again, Dave, I don't think the Warriors are ever going to lack confidence. Yeah, I know they haven't won in this building, at least in the postseason, and they're going to have to win at least once. But I don't look at it as the Warriors won't believe that they can't do it. Of course, that team knows they can do it.
Draymond Green, after the second game, in the midst of all the controversy and crap, and think about it, they're down 0-2.
Yeah.
He just got booted and is facing suspension. You saw all the numbers. No team has ever started out 0-2 and gone on to win a title in the first round. The Warriors had never been down 0-2, Steve Kerr team. And Draymond said something that really stuck with me. When he was asked about that, he said, yeah, it's awesome. It's a new adventure. It's something different. We've never faced this before. And he really looked like he was relishing that challenge. Now, some of that self-psychology, sure, but I don't think he's the only guy on that team. You don't want to be down 0-2, but for me at this point, because the Warriors are a dynasty, because they've been there so many times, I'm going to stay on this tack. They're almost like the baby in the high chair that's bored with the chicken nuggets, and you have to, do airplane and do something new to keep them interested. Okay, well, now they're interested, and you better think that Steve Kerr and the rest of that team, they're not talking about any game sevens. They want to come in and beat the wounded Sacramento Kings in front of their home fans tonight, go up 3-2, then all the pressure is on David. All the pressure is off of Goliath, and then they go back to a crazy Chase Center for Game 6, and they close it out. They're not even thinking about a Game 7. They want to get out of this series and say, yeah, you know what? The Kings slapped us a couple times, woke us up. We were never worried about it from at any point, and we won 4 straight from these guys. Next, that's what they want.
Yeah, for sure. There's one more here from Kerr on that, and kind of what he feels are quite simple, the keys to winning a game at Golden One Center.
Take care of the ball and rebound. Can't get any simpler. We didn't do that in the first 2 games, and it cost us. We had chances to win both games, but when you look at the tape, the number of possessions we gave away just with careless offensive play and then lack of boxing out was too much to overcome against a great team and one that has the best offense in the league and plays with such pace. We have to have the same mentality we had here the last 2 games where we took care of the ball and we executed and we did a much better job on the glass.
Yeah, watching the Warriors this year, Dave, that's really been their trouble spot is turnovers. And they're the number 1 turnover team in the league, but on the road, they're way worse. And if they do that again at Golden One Center, they will have their trouble. So they know it. They know what they have to fix. They know what they have to tighten up, but they also knew that during the year, and they weren't always able to do it.
Well, and we as Kings fans, we're not coaches. We're not professional athletes. We as much as we cover the team or everyone listening watches the team, we're not professionals at this, but we know exactly what the team has to do and beyond, score more points. We know exactly what has to happen. De'Aaron Fox has to be somewhat effective. Domantas Sabonis has to continue to be aggressive and more aggressive on those boards, hitting those elbow jumpers. And they have to keep the Warriors off the offensive glass. That's what led to that blowout. And the shooters need to make their shots. Now, we can outline, and I guarantee you Mike Brown's outlining it all. They know what has to happen, but boy, is there a big difference between seeing it on a whiteboard or understanding it in your head and then when 18,000 are going absolutely nuts. And let me say real quick about that, Jason. I know we talked about it for Game 1 and Game 2, and Kings fans never let their players down. It just doesn't happen. It's another one of those nights where this team is going to need the fans so much. And I think the Warriors at some point tonight, I could be wrong. The Warriors are probably going to have a lead. I could see them having a double-digit lead at some point. This has happened in almost every game. There can't be any lulls. There can't be any shell shockings at all. You got to keep that energy from start to finish like Kings fans always do because they really, really need that home court advantage tonight.
No doubt about that. And we're going to get more perspective on this game, more from practice yesterday, more on De'Aaron Fox, who says, quote, no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm playing. We discuss that and more as Dave and I return right here on Sactown Sports.
The Kings dropped a heartbreaker to the Warriors in Game 4.
Harrison Barnes with a launch for 3. It's no good. It came off the heel as time expires.
With the series tied at 2, the Kings look to regain the series lead Wednesday at the Golden One Center. Our coverage starts with Cattles and Rami, live from Doko at 2 p.m., followed by tip-off at 7 on Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports first-round coverage is brought to you by
National Garage Door. Quality doors, quality people.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. Spring officially here. And with the long, cold, and rainy winter behind us, I'm sure you're counting the days until summer, but don't wait until it's hot to make sure your air conditioner is working efficiently and, most importantly, safely. Get ahead of the problem with a $49 AC tune-up from American Energy Heat and Air. There's nothing worse than your air conditioner going out when it's hot outside. Get a tune-up today and make sure you and your family are comfortable and cool in your home for the hot summer months that are right around the corner. Give them a call, 916-520-9990, or schedule your appointment online at AmericanEnergyAir.com. Better Business Bureau, A+ rating. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. Easy, convenient payment options, same as cash, low monthly payments through financing partners. What do you need? 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates, it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
At the Gonzalez Law Office, we focus on trials and litigation to achieve the best result. For over a decade, Jonathan Gonzalez has conducted more than 60 jury trials to verdict, and since 2016, has only lost 2. We understand how to fight for our clients and make sure our clients get the best results. We don't settle for less, and neither should you. Call us to handle all your criminal and injury cases. 916-304-9187. That's 916-304-9187. Or visit us at saclegaldefense.com.
The folks at M&S Auto know that inflation is tough on everybody. If you need an excellent, gently used car or truck, M&S has hundreds of vehicles on the lot on El Camino, just off the Cap City Freeway. M&S customers get great deals and they save thousands. Get a great deal now on super clean 4x4s, including Tacomas, Silverados, and Jeeps, and muscle cars, Challengers, Teslas, Mustangs, and even the occasional McLaren. M&S Auto, msautogroup.com.
It's a myth to think you don't play golf well enough to get fitted for golf clubs. The professionals at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio would argue that playing the game with golf clubs properly fitted to your body and swing characteristics is the best way to improve your game and have more fun on the golf course. With a professional staff of fitters, all the major brands of equipment, and cutting-edge technology featuring TrackMan, the indoor-outdoor Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is worth a look. See for yourself, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway. Schedule your fitting at 916-808-2531, 808-2531.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
They bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
No ifs, ands, buts. I'm fine.
Yeah, no ifs, ands, or buts. These guys got guts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Put that on a shirt.
Yeah. De'Aaron Fox is playing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. As we continue here, Jason Ross, Carmichael Dave, Kayte Christensen, about 15 minutes from now will join us. It's Analyst Wednesday. Also, Kenny Thomas at 9. Game 5. We still have 3 in the key. Whitey Gleason is back today. We will chat with him.
Is he back? I thought. Okay.
Is it today?
I heard.
Oh, he's not back today.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, it's Kyle. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, Whitey has, I think, what I have. And we were talking on the phone yesterday trying to figure out if one of us got the other sick. I think he actually had his before mine. It's just hitting late. But whatever this garbage is, it is going around, man. And I know there's people listening right now that are nodding their heads. It's like this non-COVID, COVID-y, weird, whatever the heck type of thing. I thought I was, at the end of the show yesterday, I was pretty exhausted, but I was like, all right, we got one down, good to go. I wanted to come in today, and then I ended up sleeping all, like, pretty much the rest of yesterday. I got up to go to my son's soccer game, 1-0. Thank you very much. 1-0, excuse me. Oh, and by the way, quick aside, I promised I would bring this up today. So, Jason, yesterday was my son's first 8th grade soccer game, and they have this thing now. You know, the concussions are big in youth soccer. And so they don't allow headers at that young a level. I don't think they allow them until high school. And I'm totally fine. I get it. I'm fine with that. But what I saw yesterday, some kid on our team tried to head the ball in or away, excuse me, on defense. And the penalty, so you know where the like little goalie box is, the tiny box? Okay. So the ball was put in the middle of the box, like almost right up against the goal line itself. And then the players on my kids' team all lined up with the goalie at the actual line of the goal with their, hands strategically placed so they don't get it junk. And they're allowed to fully tee off trying to punch the ball in. And I'm thinking the penalty is setting up more concussion opportunity than the heading of the ball itself. So I wonder if there's a soccer referee. I'd love to hear from you at 916-339-1140 on the text line. Don't call. That understands that rule, because I thought they got it wrong, dude. I've never seen that in my life. And really, that's what this whole show should be about. Weird calls in my son's youth soccer game.
339-1140.
Or maybe
did he score the game-winning goal, the only goal, or no?
No. He's at fullback right now. My son.
He's protecting the goal.
He's protecting the goal. My son is a defender. He loves it. He doesn't want to play. They put him on why he doesn't want to. Little Ginge, Magoo himself, just calm, cool, and collected. You're not going to score, beat dog, and then just boots it away.
Yeah, he's part of the shutout defense out there.
That's right. Clean sheet, baby.
Much like Davion Mitchell, let's hear from him yesterday at practice. So he's going to be a guy. He's already been spotlighted, Dave. He's had to play a lot more in this series. He's been featured on Steph Curry. He'll have to play more if De'Aaron is not effective today. But Davion yesterday talked about guarding Steph.
It's been okay. I think I got to do a better job of staying connected. He's getting a lot of open looks. A lot of clean looks where it gives him a lot of rhythm. End of the day, I'm just trying to stay connected and do my job. I think for our team, playing against the Warriors is a great opportunity to play against the defending champs. To be able to beat them on our first round. It's a tough series, so it's an opportunity for everyone.
And that goes back to we've talked about cliches earlier when people are like defense wins championships. Again, you'd love to have a great defense. But, Dave, I think Davion's as good of a defender this league has, and there's times where he's defended Steph great, and you still see a three-pointer go in, or you still see him drive and get to a spot, and you go, I just don't know what you do sometimes when you can play great defense and still give up those buckets. I know you've just got to go on to the next play, but it's deflating for me watching it going, great defense. Oh, man, Steph still scored.
There was a play in the last game that I just had to stop and take my hat off. Davion was in Steph's chest, just staying with Davion can stay with Steph Curry. Steph has to have screen help in order to free himself from Davion. Davion can absolutely stay with Steph Curry one-on-one, and he did. And Steph got to the kind of the top of the circle, and all of a sudden he with his right hand, he moves in and then stops on a dime and took a step back, and next thing you know, he's on the free. He's behind the arc, and Davion slides past him and immediately recovers, jumps forward, hand barely missing the ball right in Steph's face, and Steph nails the three. And you look at that and you go, first off, this guy's 35 years old, and he's making these insane moves. I know that Steph Curry, Jason, he's never going to be Michael Jordan or LeBron James, and probably, I don't know, nobody's putting him top 5. You're not putting him ahead of Kobe. I get that. And I mean no disrespect to Kobe or LeBron or even Michael, but with Steph Curry, I think there's a really good argument that when you look at the physical gifts he was given, he's not 6'8" and built like a you-know-what. He's not even 6'6", 6'7" with the ability to fly like Michael Jordan. I'm not trying to take away from any of the hard work those folks done, but Steph Curry is a little guy who then worked all his life on his handle, has the craziest release of all time on his shot. I'm not entirely sure. He may not be the greatest of all time, but Steph Curry might be the greatest of all time considering the GOAT.
Yeah.
See.
The what?
Goatsy, the greatest of all time considering.
Okay. Goatsy.
He's just so dang good. To your point, Davion Mitchell, you're right. It is deflating. It's like, what the only other thing, what do you, maybe tickle him? I don't know. What do you do?
He hasn't tried that.
Right.
Hey, watch this. Hey, could you go? Can you say that? Do you say that when you tickle him?
I think honestly, if I'm,
it would rattle me.
Listen, if you're in if you haven't done anything like that yet, and you're in like a clutch situation, Davion's defending him, and you're beaten a little bit, time's winding down, I absolutely probably go and just give him a little tickle in the chest. I mean, just
here comes the tickle monster.
That's, I don't think Steph's ever seen that before.
He hasn't. Maybe we've just given a secret recipe to Davion. Now, something else the Warriors have done in this series, and I think it's for the better for them. I find it interesting. They're very flexible. They've changed the starting lineups in all three of the 4 games, and then even last game changed it per half. And Steve Kerr talked about the flexibility they have to go to these different groups.
We have a lot of options, and I would say the hard part is because Wiggs and Gary weren't around for, Gary almost the whole season, Wiggs the second half of the season. We haven't necessarily solidified rotations, so it's a little tougher in this case than it has been normally for us, where over the years in the playoffs, where we've had a pretty good idea of what our rotation would look like night after night. But we do have options, and I think from game to game they can change. If we're, good enough to advance out of this series, and the next one, the matchups could change. You could be seeing other guys. But we have a lot of good players, and they're all sacrificing and staying ready, and that's a positive.
Yeah, I think it still is a positive day, but I think it's interesting that they're the champs, they're the dynasty team, and maybe it's a luxury. Maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. The fact that they've been able to utilize different groups, where the Kings are basically saying, this is our starting lineup. And yeah, we've had a starting lineup that's featured Keegan Murray that struggled in a couple games. We still started him. Kevin Huerter hasn't gone off to the way he normally has. The Kings are still starting him. But Mike Brown's also not sticking with him. If those guys struggle, he's going to Mitchell. He's going to Monk, or he'll play Lyles if Barnes isn't going. Like he's going to get to other players till someone goes, where the Warriors are literally changing starting lineups. I find that to be interesting.
I do too. And I think, it's the old Adelman thing. Coach Adelman had his rotations, and boy, did he stick to those rotations. But, towards Corliss Williamson's final year, Pacey Stojakovic was the guy getting the minutes when it counted. And Rick's thing was always, it does not matter who starts. It matters who finishes. And you'd have guys, you'd have Peja and Bobby Jackson finishing games, both off the bench, and they did just fine. So I think with Mike Brown, it's very simple. I'm going to give these guys 5-10 minute bursts. We're going to get a really good read real quickly on how they are. And there's a difference between being 0-3 and your shot is just barely, going down and out, and being 0-3 and, you're building shelters with the bricks you're throwing up there. You can tell the differences, and also a little bit of defensive matchups as well. And are you playing team defense? Are you sticking with your man? Are you making a difference on the other side of the ball, which is a big reason why I think Kevin Huerter has gotten the minutes that he's gotten. It hasn't necessarily been because of his offense. His 3-point shooting has been atrocious in this series, but Kevin Huerter has done enough on the other side of the ball. I think a real underrated aspect of the series has been the Kevin Huerter-Klay Thompson defensive matchup at times, and that's a scary situation for the Kings as well, because it's always looming. Maybe it doesn't happen, but it's always looming. We talk about Steph, we talk about Dre, we talk about Andrew Wiggins, the Looney's defense. Hey, listen, there is no part of me that does not believe that Klay Thompson at some point, if he just gets on one of those silly stupid Klay runs, you just tip your cap. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, Kings are playing some great players, a great team, and they're going to try to go up 3-2. We will see how they can do it as our Analyst Wednesday gets started next with Kayte Christensen. We'll ask Kayte those questions and more straight ahead here on Sactown Sports.
It's Cattles and Rami.
Basketball is stupid. Injuries in the NBA postseason have truly stunk out loud. I don't like sports. This is just outrageous. Ja Morant, Giannis, Embiid, and now De'Aaron Fox.
Was it just a matter of time before this bug got you? I know it's not technically contagious, but it sure seems like injuries have been contagious in the NBA this year, and the Kings have been living in a bubble.
Cattles and Rami, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sactown Sports.
Right now, spring is at the Home Depot, and it's time to get growing. Whether you're planting vegetables or herbs, or just sprucing up your indoor space with lush 6-inch Vigoro Tropicals, we have what you need to get your season started. Visit your local Home Depot garden center today and shop our easy-to-grow, bigger, bolder tropicals like peace lilies, dracaena, or ficus plants. Do your spring at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Product varies by store.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Wednesday starts out comfortably. Temperatures in the lower 50s. Heading into the afternoon, a bit warmer today with bright sunshine and less wind. Highs will climb to the upper 80s to low 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
A nice warm shower is not so nice if it doesn't drain like it should. Well, let's fix that right now. Get a sewer inspection, including mainline drain cabling and video analysis, just $97. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com.
Hey, you want to be around people having a great time? You need to come check out Capital Casino, offering the most varieties of table games in the region in the friendliest environment. Come for the food, which is awesome, of course, and stay and play. Conveniently located in downtown Sacramento at 411 North 16th Street, right there in downtown Sacramento for over 20 years. Cap Casino, best food, best games, and of course, the best action. And please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find: happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hey, basketball fans, the playoffs are here, and Sacramento's ready to win it all. And while you're cheering them on, you're going to want a nice, cool home to watch those games in. That's why you should call Fox Family Heating and Air for all of your air conditioning repair needs. With our amazing technicians and lifetime warranty on most repairs, we'll make sure that your home stays cool and comfortable for the playoffs. So come on, beat the buzzer and call Fox Family Heating and Air today.
Fox Family Heating and Air.
Angie's List is now Angie, and we've heard a lot of theories about why.
I thought it was an eco move. Fewer words, less paper.
No, it was so you could say it faster.
No, it's to be more iconic.
Must be a tech thing. But those aren't quite right. It's because now you can compare upfront prices, book a service instantly, and even get your project handled from start to finish. Sounds easy. It is, and it makes us so much more than just a list. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good morning and happy Wednesday with your Sactown Sports headlines. I'm Jay Mars. The Sacramento Kings get ready for a crucial Game 5 matchup tonight with the Golden State Warriors at the G1C. Of course, this series is tied at 2-2, but the big headline for the last couple days has been about De'Aaron Fox's fracture in his left finger. While the Sacramento Kings listed him as doubtful, De'Aaron Fox had something else to say about that yesterday after practice.
No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm fine.
We'll keep you up to date all day long with De'Aaron's status for tonight's game. Our coverage starts at 2 p.m. with Cattles and Rami out at the Golden One Center. And, of course, you can get tip-off at 7 right here on Sactown Sports with the G-Man, Gary Gerald. Coming up on today's show, Kings color analyst Kayte Christensen joins us at 8 a.m., followed by Bay Area reporter for ABC 7, Casey Pratt at 8:27, and former King and Kerr analyst Kenny Thomas joins us at 9 from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. And if you missed any of those interviews today, make sure to check them out later on at SactownSports.com. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
All right, we continue here on Sactown Sports. Huge Game 5 tonight. Series tied at 2. Kings, Warriors from Golden One Center. Let's bring in our first guest of the day. We love to talk to her each and every Wednesday. Kayte Christensen joining us. Kayte, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Great. Dave, you don't have a special greeting for our dear friend Kayte?
Hi, Kayte.
Hi. Are you still sicky and doing things from home?
Yes. It's dumb.
Yes.
I'm so annoyed.
Jason, is that not the best week for you?
Oh, I have my feet up on the desk eating grapes. I want Dave back here. I hope he feels better soon.
You're too nice.
Also, just found out that amongst the 3 officials tonight, one of them is Tony Brothers.
Oh, is that what got you down? I can tell a tone change for you, Dave.
Just come on, man. Just really, it had to be Tony. I'm not a fan of Tony Brothers.
I could tell
at all, but whatever. That's fine. We've dealt with 5-on-8 before. Kayte, you saw the video of De'Aaron Fox. You saw him making 3-pointers in a non-competitive environment and practice, but truly, how effective can he be? Can he be De'Aaron Fox tonight, in your opinion?
I don't think anybody knows the answer to that. I think this is kind of everyone waiting in anticipation to see, but from the video, like, he looked good. His form looked good. It's nice that he had the opportunity to get a little bit of practice in rhythm, kind of get a feel for the little contraption that's going to be on his shooting hand. But I do know this from the standpoint of competitiveness. Like, this team, to me, it's unmatched. De'Aaron's going to play through this willingly, happily, would never be able to stop him. Otherwise, same thing happened with Domantas Sabonis in December. He's still playing with that fracture in his thumb. Keegan Murray also played through a fracture in his thumb back in December as well. This team has had their little, bumps and bruises and breaks and so on and so forth, but there's been no complaints from anybody, and they played through it. They've gone about their business, and I expect tonight to be the same way.
So, Kayte, would it have to be something that is so incredibly obvious to Coach Brown, maybe even to De'Aaron, which it's hard for an athlete to admit, but that takes him off the floor? My point being, De'Aaron, he could miss his first 6 shots, but that could be irrelevant of the finger. To what point would they go, look, you're actually hurting the team? And I don't even know that I could think of an example of that. But I guess my question is, would it have to be so obvious that you go, we're honestly better off putting you on the bench? And I don't even know if that's a scenario that could even happen.
Yeah, Jason, so the interesting thing about it, like, obviously none of us are doctors. None of us have seen his x-rays of skin. None of us know exactly what's going on. We know what the team has released. But there was something that De'Aaron said in an interview yesterday that made it sound like it's a chip, like a chip of his, like a piece of his bone has chipped off. I don't know, but if that's the case, it's like, okay, it's going to hurt. That's pretty much what's going to happen. You're not going to hurt yourself further. You're not doing any further damage from the sounds of it. And so it's really just about pain tolerance. So I don't think it even comes down to a thing of Coach Brown saying, like, you're hurting us. This is not helping. Like, because the reality is even with his right hand, even though it's his offhand, he's going to be faster than anybody that's out on the floor for the Warriors. And that's the case night in and night out, regardless of who they're playing. So you still have to defend him. You still have to really pay attention to him. That opens things up for other people. So, like, I know that this is a bizarre, terrifying perspective, like going into this game and thinking, gosh, De'Aaron has been so amazing in the playoffs and he's injured. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? So I think people are rightfully so trying to think through all the possible scenarios. But I guess the way that I look at it is if De'Aaron says he's fine, like, that's what Mike Brown is going forward on. He's not having plan, A, B, C, D, and like all the different things. Like, he's trusting De'Aaron. He's going to go in, and De'Aaron has earned that trust.
Kayte Christensen joining us. All right. Well, like you said, we don't know how effective, ineffective, whatever De'Aaron's going to be tonight. That being said, the players understand that this is a time they all have to step up. Let's look at Domantas Sabonis, who has had mixed reviews on this series so far. What would you like to see him do more of in tonight's game at Golden One Center?
I think Domas is doing everything that he's supposed to. I think if there's one thing, it's just, he has not seen this drop coverage consistently all year. And I would like to see him be a little bit more aggressive from the elbows. But listen, the reality is that even when he's opting not to shoot that shot, more times than not, he's making a great play for somebody else. And so when you face the same team, potentially 7 games in a row, and you're seeing, the same coverage, sometimes it kind of throws you a little bit. It can mentally get into your head. I don't think that is at all what's going on with Domantas Sabonis. I don't think he's the type of person that how you're covering him is going to change his approach to the game, which is he always thinks about making plays for other people first. And so it's the same kind of crowd, in my opinion, that are sitting there saying, shoot that shot, because we're so conditioned as players and as fans. If they're going to leave you open on the free throw line, like, shoot it every single time. Well, you know what? What if they shot it every single time and they only hit 30% of them? Do you still want them to shoot it every single time? Not saying that Domas is going to shoot 30% in those situations, but what I like about what he's doing is, hey, he's not letting it disrupt his approach to the game, which is to make plays for other people. He always thinks about that first before thinking about looking for his own offense. He can still take that time to process through the options while they're sagging off, before he goes in to eat up the space, put it on the deck, get to the rim. So, I think that, to me, like, maybe shoot it a little bit more in that scenario, but don't think that you have to shoot it every time they're in drop coverage. But also, you guys, like, I keep hearing all of these things about, oh my gosh, he's playing so timid, so on and so forth. Like, I haven't heard one person say, like, oh, I don't know, maybe the reason he's played the way he has in the last 2 games is because he got his chest stomped on and he might be a little bit sore.
Well, he faked it.
Maybe a little bit sore, but also he's been playing with a broken thumb, and we've not ever one time heard him complain. So I don't know. To me, kind of the narrative around Domantas Sabonis the last 2 games has been kind of sickening.
Kayte Christensen joining us. Kayte, look, you're not going to get every player on your roster playing to the level that everybody wants. Right now, they got that first game from Keegan Murray. How do they kind of get that first, hey, there's Kevin Huerter that we know. I don't think he's been bad, but he hasn't been the guy that, can score 25 and really change the dynamic of a game. How do they get Huerter going?
I mean, that's a really good question, Jason, because I also think, we rely on Kevin from the perimeter. The whole team has struggled from the perimeter through the first few games, right? It was a little bit better in game 4, but still, we've not seen an explosion like we know this team is capable of. And I mean, like, not even just an explosion, just we haven't even really seen them shoot the ball kind of their typical what we expect from them game in and game out. So I think that that's gotten better. Game 4 was certainly better, without a doubt. But you wonder about consistency. So when it comes to Kevin Huerter, I've liked the things that he's done. He's rebounded, he's distributed, he's done some great things defensively, believe it or not. He's struggled a little bit offensively, but I also think that has something to do with having Klay Thompson guarding you. And so really for Kevin, I hope that, I think the worst thing a player can do, especially in this situation when the games matter so much, is to push, to force things. And I at least can say I don't feel like Kevin has forced very much in this series, if anything at all. And I think as a team overall, that pretty much covers the entire, Kings roster. They've done a great job of playing together, of no one trying to do too much, of no one taking on too much. So, I'm just hopeful that with Domas and Kevin, that Domas can kind of get into that DHO action, maybe get a little bit of a rhythm for Kevin where he's not they've been forcing him basically to curl every time, and he puts it on the deck and he's shooting that floater, which he's done well all season. But I would like to see him kind of get a little bit of space and maybe get loose.
Well, it's going to be a great Game 5. We really look forward to it. We know you're on the call tonight, Kayte. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you out there tonight.
All right, you guys have a good show.
All right. Thank you. All right, that is Kayte Christensen right there. So I'm anxious, Dave. I'm anxious.
Oh, Jason, you know what? They're going to win or they're going to lose. You just got to learn to keep everything mellow and calm. And
you're right,
honestly, there's bigger things in life. Win, lose, or draw, just happy to be here.
What's bigger?
What's bigger than this? Well, I would say, I did top of my head.
Yeah.
Probably the flavor profiles of my friend.
Hey!
That's right. 21 different flavors to choose from, whether it's bone in or a boneless. And I'm telling you right now, we're doing fire wings for tonight's game. Very, very simple. So what I'm going to do when I get up home is I'm going to order my fire wings when I get up home. When I get done with the show, I'm going to go to firewings.com and I'm going to make my order. And you might say, but Dave, hold on. Tonight's game is at 7. Why are you making your order at 10 a.m., you goofball? And I would say, first, thank you. Secondly, because I'm getting my order in there and on time. And my wife's going to go grab the fire wings at about 6:40. They're right up the street from us. Bring them on back on our way home from work, and we're gonna have nice, hot, fresh fire wings tonight while we watch the ball game. By the way, 4 games tonight, 3 of them elimination games. It is a wonderful sports night in the middle of the week. What better way to enjoy it than with fire wings? 21 different flavors. Go to firewings.com. Find the location nearest you. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you. Fire wings. Just wing it. We will take a break when we come back.
No break. We're keeping it right here.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even see. Wow, look at nonstop sports talk.
Oh,
wow.
Yes.
What a treat for everybody. Well, with De'Aaron Fox seemingly healthy enough to play and cross fingers be effective tonight, that's a great sign for the Kings, Jason. But this isn't the first time they've had to deal with playoff injuries.
No, and if you think about it, if you go to the scope of this, the Kings haven't been in the playoffs a ton of times in their 38 years here in Sacramento, but the injuries have been a factor. If we go back to the great Rattle Seattle series, Dave, it was 1996. Mitch Richmond was hurt his ankle in Game 4. Kings had got that win in Seattle in Game 2. It was 1-1 coming back here. They lost a close game in Game 3, and then Mitch got hurt just a few minutes into Game 4. And, injuries are just such a massive factor in playoff games, in playoff series, and it's a reality. I think the Kings know that, but in 96, certainly when you lose your best player,
Woof.
I think you're doomed. You're doomed.
Yeah, that is not what the Kings are dealing with tonight. That was a dagger, plain and simple. This isn't that, though. This is he's going to be in there, and I'd hate to say, and I know they're certainly not planning on him being a decoy, but let's just remember, if De'Aaron is not as effective as we'd like, him being on the floor is still a plus, if for no other reason, because you can't screw around with this guy, and it's going to leave somebody some open shots.
For sure. And, I think Kayte had a pretty good – none of us are going to know until they actually play, but I feel good about De'Aaron being confident in the ability to play, him going through practice yesterday. I'm sure he'll go through warm-ups and workouts today and then give it his best in that pain tolerance and whatever he can handle. If we go to the 2002 playoffs, which was a pretty great run for the Kings, and amazingly so, and I always say, how different would this postseason have been, Dave? But round 2 versus Dallas, game 4, I remember being there in Dallas and Doug Christie hurting his ankle. He went to the locker room, and Doug tells the story that, I mean, he's in there, he's in pain, he's, kind of looking at a situation like, okay, can they tape it, or is he done for the day? And then he said, minutes later, here comes Peja into the locker room. He had rolled his ankle as well. Well, Doug said, tape it up. So you had a situation where I don't know if it's a severity of differences of injury or pain tolerance, but Doug taped it up, played, actually had an incredible finish to that game and didn't miss another playoff game in that series. And Peja's injury was serious enough that he didn't even return till game 5 of the Western Conference Finals and never started a game in that Lakers series. And how different would that have been with one of the great players on that team if he played all that series?
Yeah, exactly. That was so rough. It's not just the physical issue. Remember, they had a great bench. They had great,
for sure.
But it's just that lack of, you just took a lot of the depth away. And everyone's playing more minutes. It throws you completely out of whack. And now you have 2 of your best shooters from beyond the arc, and also the leader of your defense that are not feeling great. It's just injuries should be outlawed. I've said it before. I've said it again. The competition committee needs to do that.
Yeah, and then you go to the next year, 2003. This one was probably the worst. Certainly the severity of it, and maybe what it did career-wise to Chris Webber. You get to game 2 in Dallas. C-Web tore that ACL. And he just wasn't the same player. Still had a Hall of Fame career. Still was incredible. But I feel like if you look at kind of the timeline, Dave, of what teams were going through, the Kings were still kind of in that, maybe would have been in the meat of what could have been a long playoff run. And like Dallas was in, like the Lakers were in, and like the Spurs were in. And everyone's like, yeah, what happened to the Kings? And I'm like, well, what happened to the Kings? Chris Webber, your best player, tore his knee, where Duncan stayed healthy, Kobe stayed healthy, Nowitzki stayed healthy. They were all kind of in roughly that same age range, roughly. Well, that was a significant injury. Kings still were great that year, and they lost that series in 7, but they lost C-Web, and just he was never personally the same.
No, and that really is what was so tragic about that whole playoff run. Is you look back at the Robert Horry shot, you look at game 6, you look at the game 7 overtime just from that series alone in 2002. But even then, the Kings came back with this vengeance the following year. They were the best team in the league. And then you see Webber go down and you're thinking, oh God, this can't be happening right now. And it was. And it was everybody's worst case scenario. And even in that moment, Jason, I remember, had you told me, Dave, this is the end of the run.
Yeah.
The team's dead men walking at this point. This right here, they're never going to recover. Even the following year, where they were arguably even better.
Right.
They were amazing. And then the question was, do you bring Webber off the bench or do you start him? And I get where Coach Adelman was coming from. I think in today's day and age, Webber would have probably come off the bench to start at least. But it's an impossible situation. They never recovered. And you're right. He was never, ever the same, which was so damn sad.
Yeah, 2004, the next year when the Kings did lose, that was after Webber was recovering, and the Kings got off to a great start. Bobby Jackson missed the entirety of the playoffs. I'd forgotten about that until I was looking it up, and he had missed round 1. Kings advanced through that, lost round 2 in 7 to Minnesota, and then obviously 2023, we have the injury to De'Aaron Fox. But the good news on that, looks like he will give it a go and try to play. It is a game 5, Dave. You referenced this earlier, and I wanted to pull up the highlight because I think it is one of, if not the greatest moment in the history of the Sacramento Kings. Well, let's go back to that game 5 and Mike Bibby.
91-90, Lakers by 1 in game 5. Series tied at 2. Here's Bibby ready for the inbounds. Pops it into Webber. Back to Bibby. He stops. He fires from 20. He's got the bucket with 8 seconds to go, and the Kings take the lead, 92-91. He has been the man game after game after game, but this one is not over. The Lakers still have 8 seconds to go, but Bibby just as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Man, just an incredible moment. I remember one of the thoughts of that series, of that postseason. Mike Bibby was new to the team.
Mm-hmm.
And, Jay Will, it was so popular. And I remember when they opened up the game 1 at home against Utah, and the question was, well, the one thing we don't know about this Kings team is Mike Bibby ready? Is he going to be able to handle this? And I want to say at that first time out, Bibby already had, I think, 8 points. And it was like, yeah, he's ready for this. And Bibby, a little bit like Fox, I think, has been built just for big moments. And it's good to have those guys on your team.
And I don't know which was more amazing about that shot. Was it the Bibby shot, or was it the fact that the refs didn't call that screen of Chris Webber on Derek Fisher that just laid him out?
Yeah.
But I always love your little debate too, which is great. It's something I'd never thought of till you brought it up. That is the signature shot, the signature play in Sacramento Kings history. To this point, a Mike Bibby game winner in the middle of a Western Conference Finals. That kind of gives you an idea of both the success and failure of this franchise. Yet, as you point out, Kevin Martin had a buzzer beater in game 2 versus San Antonio. And I got to be honest, we've done these types of polls before. That generally is somewhere mid to low top 10s when people rank them. But technically, Bibby's was not a game winner, but man, it's the signature shot of this franchise.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it put him ahead. And you can now say, honestly, we had a look at what may have topped them all. I mean, I don't know if Barnes' 3 goes in, that qualifies as puts you up 3-1. It is a buzzer beater. Yes, it's on the road, but I think that might have vaulted potentially to number 1.
You know what? You're right. I honestly, I don't know, because one was first round and one was Western Conference Finals. That's really the only debate there, because it's a game winner. It's on the road. You don't get the home pop, that's for sure. But I would say we'd be talking today about how that Harrison Barnes shot, if the Kings were to win this series, is the most important shot in Sacramento Kings.
Yes, for sure.
I wish we were having that combo.
I wish we were too. All right, we will break here. We've got more to get to when we come back. We're going to switch gears a little bit. Don't worry, we're getting right back into Game 5, but this is a developing story that we've got details on, and people that are covering this a lot closer than us. Kayte Pratt from ABC 7 News in the Bay Area has been following the potential move of the Oakland A's. Kayte will join us when we come back.
Catch the Oakland A's every weekend on Sactown Sports. Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Sinking, that's going to get down for a hit. Around third to score is Tony Kemp. And the A's have taken the lead. Edge of the track, makes the catch. And the Athletics get a great win.
Sactown Sports, your weekend home for the Oakland A's.
Sactown Sports coverage of the Oakland A's is brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Valley Strong Credit Union.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRE 3 Weather Center. Your Wednesday starts out comfortably. Temperatures in the lower 50s. Heading into the afternoon, a bit warmer today with bright sunshine and less wind. Highs will climb to the upper 80s to low 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRE 3 News and the KCRE 3 app.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, capital, and everything in between. Learn about all the benefits of being a business banking member at valleystrong.com.
At the Gonzalez Law Office, we focus on trials and litigation to achieve the best result. For over a decade, Jonathan Gonzalez has conducted more than 60 jury trials to verdict, and since 2016 has only lost 2. We understand how to fight for our clients and make sure our clients get the best results. We don't settle for less, and neither should you. Call us to handle all your criminal and injury cases. 916-304-9187. That's 916-304-9187, or visit us at saclegaldefense.com.
The summer's heating up with some of your favorite country stars at Lake Tahoe Outdoor Arena at Harvey's. Featuring country's biggest stars. Derek Spinley's Gravel and Gold Tour, Friday, August 4th. Sam Hunt's Summer on the Outskirts Tour, Sunday, August 13th. Darius Rucker's Starting Fires Tour, Saturday, August 19th. King Brown's Drunker Dreaming Tour, Thursday, August 31st. And Friday, September 1st. Don't miss these country all-stars plus more. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com and ApeConcerts.com.
We all know the pain of being stuck in the past. But with Roseville Electric, you can get current with clean, reliable electric solutions for your home or business. For more info, visit getcurrentroseville.com today.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
At Elk Grove Honda, we'd like to help you purchase your next new Honda. Right now at Elk Grove Honda, new Hondas are arriving on a regular basis, including the newly designed CR-V, new design Accords, exciting Civics, and much more. And Elk Grove Honda's pre-owned inventory offers choices there as well. So give Elk Grove Honda a chance to show you the new or pre-owned Honda you're looking for. We are Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard, or visit us at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop garage sale of nearly new showroom clubs is on right now. With discounts up to 75%, you'll find full sets of irons, metalwoods, wedges, and more at the Hagen Oaks garage sale featuring $500,000 in Cleveland, Strixon, and Zexio closeout inventory. This kind of opportunity is rare and available right now. Visit the Hagen Oaks Garage Sale and find discounts up to 75% on selected clubs at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Jiffy Lube's Country in the Park, Northern California's biggest country music festival of the year, is back May 5th and 6th at Cal Expo, starring Lady A, Chris Young, Brett Eldridge,
I wanna be that song.
and so many more. Plus, a Boots Boot and Line Dance Saloon, interactive lounges, and Sacramento's best food trucks. Weekend passes start at just $80. Tickets are on sale now at SactownSports.com. Country in the Park, brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort, Hanley's Western Wear, and Quick Pack Car Wash.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. Good morning and happy Wednesday with your Sactown Sports headlines. I'm Jay Mars. The Sacramento Kings get ready for a crucial Game 5 matchup tonight with the Golden State Warriors at the G1C. Of course, this series is tied at 2-2, but the big headline for the last couple days has been about De'Aaron Fox's fracture in his left finger. While the Sacramento Kings listed him as doubtful, De'Aaron Fox had something else to say about that yesterday after practice.
No way, fans or butts. I'm fine.
We'll keep you up to date all day long with De'Aaron's status for tonight's game. Our coverage starts at 2 p.m. with Cattles and Rami out at the Golden One Center. And, of course, you can get tip-off at 7 right here on Sactown Sports with the G-Man, Gary Gerald. Coming up on today's show, former King and current analyst Kenny Thomas joins us at 9 from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. And if you missed any of those interviews today, make sure to check them out later on at SactownSports.com. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Again, our playoff coverage, round 1, here on Sactown Sports, brought to you by National Garage Door. National Garage Door, quality doors, quality people. More on the Game 5, critical Game 5 coming up. Again, Kenny Thomas joining us at 9. Dave, we're going to be transitioning here to Oakland A's, and not really them on the field at all. We know it's been a tough season, but bigger things, bigger potential on a move to Vegas, move to another city, or is there an outside chance they could stay in the Bay? Kayte Pratt's going to be joining us here in a moment. And, you know, Kings fans know this story all too well. They lived it. You lived it. We all lived it. And no one really wants to see teams move. And I hope there's a Hail Mary here for the A's, but I'm not sure that's going to be the case.
No, I'm with you. I 100%. Listen, I love Kayte, and I'm really excited for this convo. It's a nice break here. You know, with the Warriors and the Kings right now, the funny thing is, with all the vitriol going back and forth, so many of us are Giants fans or A's fans or Niner fans or Raider fans. You know, there is a lot of infighting and family here. And Kayte, what I love about him, and just let me know when he's ready.
Yeah, he's ready to go.
Oh, he is. Let's bring him in right now from you know, basically what I was saying about Kayte, and he's from ABC 7 in the Bay Area, is I really admire and appreciate the fact that he is a journalist, but he has chosen to use his platform and be a human being and show pictures of his family and him and say that he's gutted, and plus do some damn good investigative journalism into this whole thing. And it does remind me a lot of what we did up here. So without further ado, Kayte, it's Dave and Jason. Good morning.
Hi guys, how you doing? And I saw that Warriors Kings banter on social media. That was quite entertaining. But we're all on the same side in this one, I think. So we can unite as fan bases, right?
Yeah, and I think, Casey, what it really comes down to is there are a lot of similarities. You have an owner, much like the Kings did, that's tanking the team. In fact, even really worse on your side right now, on the A side. You have multiple relocation threats. The difference here, we had Kevin Johnson, a former NBA player, and we had David Stern, a competent commissioner that did not want to relocate. No offense to the Oakland mayor, but that's not Kevin Johnson. And Rob Manfred is a complete toolbox. So what openings do you see currently, even if there's a little bit of crossed fingers in there for A's fans?
Yeah, I just actually for the first time went to Golden One Center, that spectacular arena you guys have in Sacramento, and I noted that it was on Jay Stern Way. And
yeah.
It really hit me. Yes, there was some pretty heavy commissioner involvement in making this thing happen that I don't think is happening in Major League Baseball. All that being said, Rob Manfred is just a mouthpiece for the ownership, and before the owners wanted Vegas, and I just mean the A's owners, he also had a lot of very complimentary things to say about Oakland as a market and how it should definitely be a major league market. And so it's just funny to see how the tea leaves kind of sway back and forth based on what the billionaire owner of the A's is telling Manfred to put out in statements. The biggest opening here, guys, is whether or not they can succeed in Las Vegas. And at first everybody jumped off the cliff as soon as the news broke, but the more and more you hear about what's going on in Vegas, the more cracks are forming in this whole thing. And I think if they don't get it in Vegas, they're going to have to come back here and sell the team. So,
wow. Can you talk about those hurdles though, Casey? What's going on in Vegas that is keeping this from maybe becoming a reality?
Well, first and foremost, they want $500 million to do this. And as far as I know, and I've heard from several different sources, and obviously this all can change very quickly, is they don't have the votes right now for that. And so they're going to have to keep lobbying to try to get it done, but they don't have a lot of time. We might know by the first week of May whether or not they're going to have the votes to get this money. And I think that's something that we can eminently track. And so, yeah, it's not a very popular thing when you come in here as a billionaire pro sports owner and immediately demand money. The other thing is it seems very thrown together quickly. Nobody had heard of this site that the A's ended up selecting, this Wild Wild West site. It was always the Tropicana or the Festival Grounds, and then the Rio emerged. And then all of a sudden they bought land at this place. It seems almost as if they had to have land in order to pass the legislation that they needed, and so they quickly gobbled something up because they couldn't get it done in any of the other deals. Why else would you announce a stadium site without renderings or a design firm or any of these other things locked up? Like, it all seems haphazard and thrown together.
Casey Pratt, ABC7 Bay Area. Casey, in a weird way, we were discussing this the other day, just even if it's from a PR standpoint, how much in a topsy-turvy world could Mark Davis be an ally to A's fans in this situation?
Yes. He had some very strong comments against the A's in Las Vegas, and specifically he feels like this ownership group really screwed him over. And it was funny because, like, people now at the point where people just send me stuff constantly, like, and somebody sent me Mark Davis's comments, and I just went on without even reading him. So I was like, I don't care what he has to say. And then when I went back and looked, I was like, whoa, that's not what I expected at all. Yeah. Like, it was strong. And so, you guys have to ask yourselves, at what point do you have to consider that Mark Davis, yes, he did move the Raiders there. Yes, he was sort of blocked by the A's here in Oakland, but he has the only stadium in Las Vegas, like brand new, nice, full-blown stadium in Las Vegas. And I don't think he's going to want another stadium there competing with Allegiant Stadium, first and foremost. And secondly, like, what kind of sway does the owner of the Raiders have politically in Las Vegas right now? And what other billionaires or rich casino magnates out there are really going to want the A's, playing 80-plus dates at home with 3 to 5 hours where people are not going to be at their casino tables. And so it's interesting to think about what kind of power these guys have. And there's not a lot of really influential people stepping up for the A's in Vegas. Like, remember when the Raiders left, Sheldon Adelson was a huge, huge deal.
Yep.
And he was the guy that really stepped up and said, let's get the Raiders here and grease the wheel and got it done. No one is doing that for the A's. The A's are the only ones lobbying for themselves in Las Vegas. There's no big power player stepping up and saying, let's make this happen, guys.
Casey, do you have a read on the other owners? Obviously, they're going to look at, what's going to help line their pockets. I understand that. But fans of the A's, maybe people in the region would like John Fisher to sell. They can't make him do it. But do you have a read on what the other owners of Major League Baseball teams think of John Fisher?
Not necessarily, and I'm almost surprised by how much support they've provided him, because he is one of the richer owners out there. And if you really look at it, like, what incentive do these other owners have to waive a relocation fee for the A's to go to Las Vegas? That's taking money out of all their pockets. Is the incentive that they could then take the A's off revenue sharing? Is that really enough of an incentive? Because they'd been off revenue sharing before. They were only put back on just recently.
Right.
I just don't see the incentive, and I don't see the incentive in giving the Giants the entirety of Northern California. You're going to need, I think, 2/3 ownership vote to get a relocation fee waived, and probably even to send the A's to Las Vegas. Well, I can tell you right now, without some serious promises of some kind of favor, like the Dodgers, the Padres, the Angels, the Diamondbacks, none of these teams are going to want all of Northern California to go to the Giants, and they're also not going to want their markets kind of encroached upon like the Diamondbacks are going to have happen if they go to Las Vegas. So there's a lot of interesting reasons why I don't see MLB owners being so supportive of this. Plus, let's think about this, right? If the A's end up playing in Las Vegas, they're going to have to play at that AAA ballpark until they get the stadium built. They're talking about adding artificial turf there. 110-degree weather, artificial turf. Do you think the other owners, the Players Association, is going to approve their star players going to play in a minor league park in the dead of summer on turf?
Nope.
But I just don't see why any owner would approve any aspect of this deal.
And also, by the way, they're going to have an NBA franchise, almost certainly an expansion franchise within 5 years, competing for that dollar as well. All right, here's what I want to do, because we've only got a few minutes left. I want to play a clip, then ask you a question off of that, and then I'll wrap it up with you. This was Casey talking to Brody Brazil, not yesterday, not a week ago. This was back in late September, and I want you to hear what Casey had to say to Brody.
I think that before development agreement and community benefit agreement get signed, I think we could see the deal fall apart first and both sides walk away. Just like what happened in Sacramento. I could see them
wait
saying,
wait a second. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. This is a heck of a way to end this video. Wait a second. You're saying, I feel like we've been doing this. You're saying this is going to happen?
And I'm saying when it does, that is also not the end of the world, because that is what happens.
Casey, I'll lose my lunch over that one. Come on. How's that? Explain
that's
that.
What happens in a negotiation, right? Have you ever bought a car? I go to a car dealership, right?
Are you a haggler?
I haggle with the salesman. I get their best final offer. I say no. I leave. I give them my phone number. I go to a nearby establishment. I have a beer, and I just sit and wait for my phone to ring. And when the phone rings...
All right, so here's how I want to set this up, Casey. The Kings didn't really get their big break until what you could argue would have been their most devastating punch received, when it was announced that the Maloofs were going to sell the team to Chris Hansen and Steve Ballmer and move it to Seattle. It was terrible. But what KJ had said at the time is they finally have agreed to sell the team. That's our opening. Now, you hear the rumors of Joe Lacob having a standing offer. Is there movement there, Casey? Is that offer, do you think, real? And ultimately, is that the key to you to somehow incentivize John Fisher to sell to somebody locally?
Yeah, I'd say you hit the nail on the head there, because the A's just aren't for sale. Like, Joe Lacob does have a standing offer, but you can't buy something that's not for sale. Yeah. And so will this team ever be up for sale? It's possible. I think it's entirely possible that a couple different things happen here. One, John Fisher and the A's succeed in Vegas. They go to Vegas. This thing's a wrap. We all know it's a lot easier to get things done in Vegas. Or two, they flop in Vegas and then come back here and try to get back at the negotiating table in Oakland, but they'll have at that point ceded all leverage, which is why I think they would sell. Or three, they come to terms with either Oakland or Las Vegas and then sell because now they have a turnkey deal and it'll jack up the price of the franchise. But selling to me seems to be the most likely way that the A's end up staying in Oakland. If they go up for sale and somebody buys them that wants to keep them here. Keep in mind, though, they have this deal 90% done in Oakland. So if you're another owner, you could gobble up this franchise, kick back the rest of the money that you need to get this thing locked down and watch your profits soar because, like, look what Joe Lacob did with the Warriors. Yep. Took a dilapidated franchise, ran them correctly, built a brand new arena, and now they're worth like $5 billion. He bought them for, I think, $400 million. So that's the recipe for success. And yes, this is why, I was so interested in talking to you and hearing your take too, because I do remember those Kings broadcasts where people were crying on the air and this thing was a wrap. And now I think it was you with tears in your eyes as they made the playoffs. And I'm so happy for you guys. I know it's the whole Warriors Kings back and forth, but I could not be more happy for you. And I could not be more happy for the people in Sacramento. And I frankly was like slightly emotional when I went to Golden One Center. It was game 2 and I was just looking around and how fired up the Kings fans were and how beautiful the arena was. And I was like, man, they did it. Like, this is so awesome that they did it.
Well, I've said this publicly. I'll say it to you. I'm a lifelong Giants fan, but I also know the Giants' hands are far from clean in this whole situation, and it goes beyond team allegiance. It's about community. Casey, I really have admired from afar your work, and I hope you keep it up. And not that me or anyone else up here is the end all be all. This is a different situation. There are nuances. It doesn't mean that because the Kings did it, the A's can do it. You have some different hurdles, but I just want you to know, and I'm speaking for a lot of people up here. There's a lot of A's fans in the 916, and there's a lot of people that care up here. Let's organize, dude. Seriously, let's organize. I think there's some tactical and strategic things that can work. I think this is a salvageable situation, but it's got to be done right. The pressure has to be put on the right people, and I think if it's organized right, and there is the manpower, I think you guys got a fighting shot, and I'm rooting for you. I want you and your family to have that emotional moment in the brand new A's stadium, whether it's at Howard Terminal or somewhere else in the area. So totally want to work together. I think this thing is fixable. I really believe you when you say that.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note that what you're doing right now is that. It is organizing. It is helpful in, just putting out the information in the platform. Look, I'm being real. Like there's very likely a chance to end up in Las Vegas, but there still are a lot of cracks in this deal at this point. And so just talking about it helps because, back in the day, people didn't have social media or platforms or ways to really communicate a lot of the things that were happening. And the fans have more of a voice now. So, just keeping it going, keeping the conversation going is really all we can do.
Appreciate you, brother. Keep up the good work.
Thanks,
and keep those heads up. Thank you, Casey. Thank you to Casey, ABC7. And that's a story we're going to continue to follow that I think hits home for a lot of Kings fans. All right, back to the Sacramento Kings. Jason, coming up next, we got who's hot, who's not. We go streaking. Do I have a streak going? I don't know. We'll figure that out. Plus, Kenny Thomas on Analyst Wednesday at 9 a.m. It is game day, game 5 tonight, right here on Sactown Sports. 7 p.m. is your tip-off. We are right back.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. Spring officially here. And with the long, cold, and rainy winter behind us, I'm sure you're counting the days until summer. But don't wait until it's hot to make sure your air conditioner is working efficiently and, most importantly, safely. Get ahead of the problem with a $49 AC tune-up from American Energy Heat and Air. There's nothing worse than your air conditioner going out when it's hot outside. Get a tune-up today and make sure you and your family are comfortable and cool in your home for the hot summer months that are right around the corner. Give them a call, 916-520-9990, or schedule your appointment online at AmericanEnergyAir.com. Better Business Bureau, A+ rating. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. Easy, convenient payment options, same as cash, low monthly payments through financing partners. What do you need? 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9998 now.
Make your way to the ballpark on Sunday, April 30th to watch your A's go head-to-head with the Cincinnati Reds. Get there early to grab your very own Tony Kemp poster, presented by Kaiser Permanente. This one-of-a-kind poster giveaway features TK and his iconic catch.
Diving play to his right. Unbelievable catch by Tony Kemp. Spectacular.
Tickets start at just $10 and are available at athletics.com/tickets. That's athletics.com/tickets.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the next generation network. Well, the A's have a great story in pitcher Mason Miller. Diagnosed with juvenile diabetes in 2018, he got bigger and stronger, and by the time he made his big league debut on the last homestand against the Cubs, after only 28 2/3 innings in the minor leagues, he threw 15 pitches at 100 miles an hour or faster, topping out at 102.5.
Now batting, Xfinity Internet. It's made to do anything, so you can do anything. Supercharge your home with incredibly fast and powerful supersonic Wi-Fi. With 3 times more bandwidth, it covers all the bases and then some. And strike out billions of threats with advanced security that helps keep you safe at home and on the go. If you're keeping score, that's internet that does it all. That's unbeatable internet from Xfinity, proud partner of the Oakland Athletics. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Hey, basketball fans, the playoffs are here and Sacramento's ready to win it all. And while you're cheering them on, you're going to want a nice, cool home to watch those games in. That's why you should call Fox Family Heating and Air for all of your air conditioning repair needs. With our amazing technicians and lifetime warranty on most repairs, we'll make sure that your home stays cool and comfortable for the playoffs. So come on, beat the buzzer and call Fox Family Heating and Air today.
Fox Family Heating and Air.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot.
And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Air and Solar, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Oh, I got someone hot.
Who's that?
He's scorching, actually, and he plays for a hot team, the Suns. Get it? The Suns hot.
Yeah.
So good. Devin Booker, so far this year in the NBA playoffs, is averaging an NBA best 37.2 points per game to go along with 5 rebounds, 6.4 assists, 2.6 steals on shooting splits of 60 from the field, 47% from 3, and 86% from the line. He joins Russell Westbrook and Michael Jordan as the only players to average 35 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals ever in the NBA playoffs.
Wow.
Oh, and
That's
they have
hot.
Kevin Durant, too.
Oh, yeah, by the way.
Who?
Yeah. What do you guys think quickly on that series, by the way? Denver, Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Picking Phoenix?
Yeah.
Dave?
Oh, gosh.
Your disrespected Denver Nuggets, your second team?
Heart says Denver, head says Phoenix, man. The only I'm going to take Denver, and we'll talk more about this, but ultimately it's going to be depth. And it's going to be, is someone
and that's Denver.
Exactly. Is someone going to get hurt? Is someone going to be, I just think Denver is too solid of a team, whereas, 2 of the, if not 3 of the best 4 players in the series are on Phoenix. So it's going to be a hell of a series.
I don't know what's going to happen at the end of this Kings-Warriors series, but
one of the two teams going to win.
I agree with that. I think it's good that they avoided the other side of the bracket.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. I think Denver and Phoenix would be very tough matchups.
I mean, either one of those teams lose because one of them will. Phoenix or Denver. If it's Denver, it's Michael Malone is likely. I mean, I think that seat's a little warm right now, but you lose in the second round after finishing first in the West. I think it's going to get hot quickly.
Whose seat is warmer? Assuming the Heat win, Budenholzer or Malone? If Malone were to lose to the Suns and Budenholzer were to lose to the Heat,
I think Malone.
I think Malone too. Budenholzer at least has the championship to hang on. I don't think Malone
and he has
should
the
go
Giannis
anywhere.
excuse for the first couple and two of those losses. Giannis didn't play, so
I think they still keep Malone, but I think that seat's warm.
Yeah,
very warm.
Who's not?
Who's not?
The Kawhi Leonard, Paul George led LA Clippers. Here's some fun facts for you. In the past 4 seasons, this is coming from Tom Haberstroh, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George have played 118 regular season games and 24 playoff games together. Again, that's over 4 seasons. That's an average of 29 and a half games during the regular season and 6 games during the playoffs. And in the last 2 years of the partnership, they've played a total of 19 regular season games together and 0 playoff games.
And then the latest news today about that injury. Man, you combine all that. Woof. Woof, woof, woof. All right, you guys ready to go streaking?
I actually really am.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing?
We're streaking.
Hey, guys, yesterday, Dave, you took Nico
Murray
Horner. And he got a hit for you.
You're
on a streak of 3.
We're streaking, baby.
I took Jose Ramirez of the Guardians. He got a hit for me. I'm at 2.
He guarded your streak.
Yes.
Okay.
Got it.
And Jay
nailed it.
Was sitting at 3. He took James Outman of the Dodgers. He got a hit.
2 hits.
2 hits.
Wow.
So Jay's at 4. Dave, you're at 3. I'm at 2. This is good. Record for the show is 6. Jay's closing in. Dave, you and I are on his heels. So, Dave, you lead us off today. You can't pick anybody that's a part of your now 3-game hit streak.
Nope.
Who are you picking?
Oh, let's see. I'm going to go back, as my rule has been. I'm going back to a Giant now. I got to go Giant, and the rest of trying to handicap myself a tiny bit here. I'm going to go. Who am I feeling good about today with the Giants? Oh, that's tough. That big walk-off yesterday.
That was great. They've won 4 in a row.
Yes, they have. Let's go to France. I've used him before. I'll use him again. Jacques Peterson.
Jacques
Peterson.
Okay.
Noted French American Jacques Peterson. Especially go JD Davis.
Yeah, I
utilized him before.
Yeah, I have utilized
the ball well.
That's you go with your gut, and I have a rather sizable one.
My gut is taking me to the Toronto Blue Jays.
Canada.
I'm going to select Whit Merrifield to get a hit today to continue my streak and hopefully get me to 3. Jay Mars.
What a baseball name, Whit Merrifield.
Whit's been a good player.
That's an 1800s name for sure. Whit Merrifield had 3 hits yesterday, the doubleheader.
Jay?
I don't know if you know this, but the Angels beat the A's yesterday. The A's lost a game.
Yeah.
But Shohei Ohtani didn't get a hit. I'm predicting him to get one tonight. I'm going to go with old Shohei.
Big guns. All right.
Big guns.
Shohei Ohtani.
I got an addendum to Jay's Who's Hot, as I always like to do, since we only have a couple minutes left here.
You have an addendum?
An addition.
Can I comment real quick?
Yeah.
Like, grow up. Like, this isn't about you.
Wow.
Please put that in the hopper.
Oh, it's in the hopper.
There.
That's Kayte.
That's where I played it from, straight from the hopper.
Dan Patrick reported yesterday that the San Francisco 49ers have reportedly explored the possibility of trading for Lamar Jackson.
Wait, the quarterback one?
No, the dessert topping. Yes. Dan Patrick doesn't screw around, and he is incredibly connected. Here's the quote. The Niners have monitored everything, including Lamar Jackson. They've explored that, looked at it, kicked the tires. They always are trying to improve. 2 first-round draft picks is the asking price plus whatever. Obviously, every team or a ton of teams are looking at it, blah, blah, blah. But, guys, I don't take this as idle chatter for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's Dan Patrick. Number 2, we saw it with Christian McCaffrey. John Lynch is 100% willing to take swings here. I don't think it'll happen, of course, but it excites me enough to dream just a little bit about Lamar Jackson as the quarterback of the 49ers. See you later. At that point, it's Super Bowl or 100% failure. There is no in between.
Then I already hear the Niner fans going, Kyle's just going to run him up the middle, get him injured.
Well, I mean,
he knows how to run.
Yes, he does. That's one of his gifts.
He also knows how to get injured.
That's true.
Well, then you have Brock Purdy or Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Trey Lance and a couple of firsts for Lamar Jackson, who says no. Let's go.
The Ravens. Well, who knows? Who knows? All right, we got another hour ahead still to come. We have crosstalk and we have celebrity birthdays to get to with Crumble Cookies. But when we come back, K9, Dave, get your hard hat ready. Kenny's going to have his hard hat ready. Kenny Thomas on Analyst Wednesday. He joins us to preview tonight's Game 5. That is next here on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
It's Cattles and Rami.
And now we get this De'Aaron Fox news. Before I get to your thoughts, Rami, and how this impacts the series, it's rather obvious it absolutely impacts this series. What I don't want us to do, I don't want to take calls saying I fractured my finger in 1998 and I was okay. I went to work.
I went to the YMCA. I put up 20 in 3-on-3.
Fractured my index finger when I was in high school, still dropped 30. I don't want that.
Cattles and Rami, weekday afternoons from 2 to 6 on Sactown Sports.
Right now, spring is at the Home Depot, and it's time to get growing. Whether you're planting vegetables or herbs, or just sprucing up your indoor space with lush 6-inch Vigoro Tropicals, we have what you need to get your season started. Visit your local Home Depot garden center today and shop our easy-to-grow, bigger, bolder tropicals like peace lilies, dracaena, or ficus plants. Do your spring at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Product varies by store.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And before you know it, the kids will be out of school for summer. But here's a little secret. At Bell Brothers, we never let our technicians out of school.
Nope. We require them to attend both hands-on and classroom training for a minimum of 3 hours a week, every week, for as long as they work for the company.
That's 150 hours a year. Regardless of how much experience they have or how long they work for the company, technology constantly changes in this industry. And we want our techs to be as current as possible.
We also train on customer service and communication skills to make sure you have a pleasant experience. We have dedicated training facilities and full-time trainers.
We don't leave anything to chance, which is why our technicians never get out of school. Call Bell Brothers right now to schedule an $87 precision tune-up. Our number is 916-444-1234, or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
The wait is over. Maida Subaru has a great selection of new Subarus in stock, more arriving daily, and big savings on all of them. And you can see all the savings at MaidaSubaru.com. So what are you waiting for?
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-330-1991. That's 1-800-330-1991. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-330-1991. SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
KHTK AM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your home for the Sacramento Kings.
It's Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good morning and happy Wednesday with your Sactown Sports headlines. I'm Jay Mars. The Sacramento Kings get ready for a crucial Game 5 matchup tonight with the Golden State Warriors at the G1C. Of course, this series is tied at 2-2, but the big headline for the last couple days has been about De'Aaron Fox's fracture in his left finger. While the Sacramento Kings listed him as doubtful, De'Aaron Fox had something else to say about that yesterday after practice.
No way, fans, but I'm fine.
We'll keep you up to date all day long with De'Aaron's status for tonight's game. Our coverage starts at 2 p.m. with Cattles and Rami out at the Golden One Center. And, of course, you can get tip-off.
Microphone when he's not on the microphone, he's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
All right, here we go. Final hour. We're at 3 different locations, but we're bringing you Kenny Thomas. Dave is at home. I'm here in the studios. Kenny's ready to roll. What's up, Kenny?
What up, my guy, Jason? Hey, I think it's unfair that he gets to be at home. What's up with that?
Well, I'll tell you what, Kenny. Why don't we meet up for lunch? I'll kiss you on the mouth, and then in 3 days you can be as sick as I am, and you can enjoy it. Well, you're already at home, actually. So,
well,
I'm hurting, bro.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Okay. And by
But
the
you
way,
can do the cheek. You can do the cheek. It's all good.
that's okay.
There
Hey,
you go.
look, it's Game 5, so I gotta do this for you, Ken.
I love it, my guy. Hey,
It's
let me
on
tell you
now.
something. Man, let me tell you something. Our guy over at Gibson at NBC, the guy that produces not our actual producer, but a boss of the producer, executive producer. We were talking and like he's hopefully we can get some hard hats sold at the arena. Maybe.
Yeah.
People are actually asking. I'm like, are you serious right now? I mean, that would be pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, I just wonder how that works. They're generally not great about selling projectiles at games.
I know. That's why I'm
You know?
talking about it on here because I know it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's fine. We do it for charity.
Yes.
Hey,
Exactly.
we could. Hey, we could.
Kenny,
my God.
Go ahead, Jason. Sorry.
I was to say, so Kenny, now, I mean, this has been great so far. 4 games, awesome. 3 games, either team could have won. Game 3 was kind of the one that got away from the Kings, but here we are, 2-2. And, 2 days ago, you hear the news about De'Aaron Fox and everybody's down and out, but then he practices, going to give it a go. How effective do you think De'Aaron will be with that injured finger?
Man, I think it's gonna come down to how it feels, just like anything else. Obviously, he's been saying he's gonna play, which is good. With him being on the floor, I think it's good, even if he's not knocking down shots or anything like that. But seeing him on social media and the Kings are posting and all that, he's getting up shots. He looks like he's fine, and people were referring back to when Kobe had that finger issue, right? It's just I'm not comparing De'Aaron Fox to Kobe Bryant, of course, but at the same time, it's just one of those things. It's like Sabonis. When he's been hurt, he's been playing through injuries, right? So I expect De'Aaron Fox to play tonight.
All right, so he plays tonight, and there's no way we're going to know how effective he is. But Kenny, we've talked about this before. One of the hallmarks of your career was Sacramento, because they didn't use you right many
I
times.
appreciate that, buddy.
They didn't, but you always stayed ready to go. You always stayed healthy, ready to go. You worked your tail off in practice, and that's why when you get, be on the bench for a week or 2 weeks, and you come in and double it because you were a professional. So you've got the rest of this squad here, whether it's Domas, Herter, Keegan, whomever. How are they feeling right now, knowing that their best player is hurting a little bit? Are they excited? Are they looking to step up? Are they looking for the opportunity here? Are they hungry for it?
I think there's a lot of different ways we can go with that. Thank you for the words, Dave. I appreciate that. When I played, I wanted to earn my checks, you know what I mean, any way possible. But it was an unfortunate situation. My last 3 years here in Sacramento, I was on the bench and didn't know what was going on. So this is why I got to go this direction first. Hat off to Lynn. Hat off to Holmes. But at the same time, Lynn, the way that he's come in, man, being a professional, basically like you, just said I was doing. I'm so proud of that kid because it's not easy, man. He's been an unbelievable professional, and the Kings got to recognize that, especially when the offseason comes, right? But I think, obviously, being a teammate of De'Aaron Fox, you're going to be like, okay, well, this is our guy. Like, we need him to play. Like, we can't win without him. But at the same time, I feel like the way that everybody's playing and gelling right now has been great, especially with, even though the Kings didn't win the last game, but the way that they played, man, it was nice. But at the end, they just couldn't finish the last like 3 or 4 possessions because there was plenty of opportunities there for the Kings to take that last game. But they're coming back home. And what's so crazy, the odds are in favor of the Warriors right now. I saw that, which is insane, especially the way the Kings have been playing at the G1 Center.
You know, Kenny, I'm curious about, obviously we've all seen the difference between regular season and postseason, how physical this has been, but specifically for Sabonis, who I think is a combo of a physical player but has some finesse to his game, but the Warriors are playing him so physically. And you would go through that in a regular season game, or maybe you play a team like, wow, that was a physical game, but then the next 3 games, maybe it's not that physical kind of team. When it's happening every night, what kind of toll does that take on him and as just legs and all those things as the series goes on?
You said it right. Like, Domas is a guy that wants to bang, right? He wants to hit you first and create that contact. I would like to see him, once he creates that contact, like maybe go to a counter move. Like, we all know to a certain extent he's going to go back to his left hand. Like, try and set it up to where you're doing a little bit of something different instead of trying to bang with people. But with Sabonis, I feel like Looney is sagging off of him. So he has to cover that slack up, which is basically what me and Matt Barnes have been talking about the last couple of games. And it's a matter of him being patient. Like, obviously, he doesn't feel that comfortable knocking down that jump shot. But it's crazy because he did it during the season. So it's kind of like, seems like it's a mindset thing right now. But I think he's playing great ball. Obviously, he's getting a double-double. But I feel like Keegan and Kevin and Malik and Davion are the X factors. Davion, when it comes to Steph Curry, I wouldn't be surprised if he's playing a little bit more minutes. And as you can see, those minutes minutes were taken away from Keegan, right? But at the same time, Keegan played a great game last game, but he wasn't in towards the end. And there were specific reasons why, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how everything goes. But Mitchell needs to be on Curry more.
Kenny Thomas joining us. Let's look at the psychology with Domantas Sabonis, because we've been talking a lot about him. I don't think he's having as bad a series as some people are saying.
I agree.
I don't think that, lack of aggression, the guy's on the floor half the game. But I want to ask you about that elbow jumper, because that's really something I've keyed in on, is his hesitation to take that elbow jumper. Neither of us have put him on the psychologist couch, Kenny, but in your opinion, how much of that is hesitation because hesitation from the shot, or how much is it that coming from maybe his greatest asset to the team? He's a playmaker. He's trying to get people involved. And I want to propose the idea that his hesitation a lot is because he's looking to pass and play make more than be a guy on offense. And I'm curious if you think that holds any water.
I mean, obviously, we as a community we put a lot of pressure on him because he is one of the superstars on this team. It just comes with the territory, right? And like you said, he's not having a bad series. He's averaging double-double, almost getting some triple-doubles at times. But I think what people are seeing, like his scoring and everything, is not coming in the moments to where the Kings need actual scoring, right? And I feel like Sabonis is a playmaker, like he has been with the handoffs and all that, and all those different things when it comes to the guards coming off and making plays that way. I think it's going to come because this is only their first year playing together. You got to keep that in mind. And I just want him, after the action with the handoff or the dribble handoff or whatever it may be, like, I want to see him look at the rim. Sometimes he doesn't even look at the rim. It's not a matter of looking at the rim and shooting it. He can look at the rim and see where Looney is and do what he does. Like, take dribbles in there, but just be a little bit more patient and set up your go-to moves if you're going to come back to your left hook. So just things like that.
Kenny Thomas joining us. Kenny, as a look at the way, I guess in this case, 2 things can be true. I actually think the Kings, and Davion specifically, have done a nice job on Steph Curry, yet Steph Curry is flourishing and scoring 30 points a game.
Yeah.
Do they – I mean, he's a stud. He's a star. He's tough to guard. I don't know. Is there any counter? Is there anything else they can do to, I don't know, limit him to 24, 25? Because he's just incredible.
Man, like you said it. And Kings fans, I'm sorry, but the man he's incredible. Like, he's unstoppable. And I was able to play against his dad, Dale. And Dell was a great shooter, right? And here we are, a guy coming in that's bringing a whole different dynamic to the game, basically shooting at half court, right? And now everybody wants to shoot at half court, even the big guys in the league. But he's a guy, you can't stop him. You just got to hold your breath sometimes to a certain extent and hope he's going to miss. And some of his misses look like they're going to be makes, right? But I feel like Mitchell is that X factor that can come in. And if you really watch the game when he's on him, he sticks to him. He doesn't do anything else. Then I like the way Mike Brown's changing it up. So maybe a boxing one. Just throw some different things out there.
We talked earlier, Kenny, I don't know if you experienced this when you played. What about tickling him from time to time? Just kind of on the chest when he goes up, you
different tactic.
Kind of I don't think he's ever dealt with that before. Maybe you use it twice a game, throw him off. Your thoughts?
Man, let me tell you something. Some of the things I used to do, guys used to have their hands out, and I would like pull their hand, like just to keep them honest. Like if they're looking at the ball over there, and then I'm over here on the other side, and you got Mike Bibby with the ball over there. Obviously, he's gonna look at the ball. So I would just mess with people. So I've done that. I'll pull people arms and different things like that, and you got to do what you got to do. Obviously, you can't hurt anybody.
Sure.
But what we've been saying, and Matt Barnes has totally hit this right on the head from the standpoint of when we played, man, if somebody was getting off, you go hit them hard, a hard foul. You don't really see that anymore. To where you're trying to get your team involved or bring that energy in. You know what I mean? It doesn't happen. Maybe one of those things should happen, but you don't try and hurt anybody.
That's why tickling works.
What do you think Matt Barnes would have done if somebody tried to tickle him on a jumper?
No comment. No comment.
No comment.
He said he obviously, if you've heard, he said that he was that Draymond guy to a certain extent, but
yeah,
I mean, we all did certain things back in the day, especially in the moment, in the heat of the moment. It's one of those things to where you never know what's going to happen, especially when you're in it and the emotions are there and you're trying to win a game.
Well,
things just happen. Remember, I got in my fight, Dave, with Sharif Abdul-Rahim.
That's true.
That's true. Sharif's a nice guy. Like,
yeah,
as is Kenny.
Great guy. Great guy.
Yeah. Well, Kenny, we know it's a huge Game 5. We appreciate you each and every week checking in with us, and we look forward to doing it again next week.
Man, are we going to keep this going? Because, hey, keep in mind, I'm only getting the first round, so Sunday could be my last game. I'm more than willing to keep coming on if they keep going, fellas.
2 more wins, and we keep this going.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
There you go. Thanks, Kenny.
My guys. Appreciate you, Dave.
See you, brother.
All right, fellas. Thank you, guys. Hey, no Wi-Fi error.
No, you're great. Clean show.
That's an excellent job, Hope. That's Game 5 Wi-Fi right there, baby.
Yes, good
sir.
sign. It's a good sign.
All right, fellas.
All right. That's Kenny Thomas joining us here. We will break, we assume, and we heard it. De'Aaron Fox says he's playing, but maybe let's go with the thought of if he's not as impactful as he's been, who needs to step up? We'll go through some numbers on who did that while De'Aaron was out during the season. We've got that next.
Are you ready to hear this on Sactown Sports?
Hand off McCaffrey. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Or how about this?
Feels super, baby! The 5-time Super Bowl champions, and they're looking for number 6.
Catch every Niners game during the 2023 season
on your home for the 49ers.
Sactown Sports.
We all know the pain of being stuck in the past. But with Roseville Electric, you can get current. Roseville Electric provides you with clean, reliable electric solutions for your home or business. Whether you're looking to go electric, reduce your carbon footprint, or simply save on your monthly energy bill, Roseville Electric has a solution for you. For more info, visit getcurrentroseville.com today.
At Elk Grove Honda, we'd like to help you purchase your next new Honda. Right now at Elk Grove Honda, new Hondas are arriving on a regular basis, including the newly designed CR-V, new design Accords, exciting Civics, and much more. And Elk Grove Honda's pre-owned inventory offers choices there as well. So give Elk Grove Honda a chance to show you the new or pre-owned Honda you're looking for. We are Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard, or visit us at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
Getting a little crosstalk with Chris Watkins, Kyle Madsen to wrap up the show. Celebrity Birthdays brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Still to come, pit passes to Country in the Park. That's coming up in our next segment, but oh, look at that. Ready to show in court.
Breaking it out today.
Mint condition.
Mint condition. I'm breaking out all the different things. We're going to have a couple bobbleheads tonight. Bunch of different good luck charms. Big game tonight. Big win needed for our Sacramento Kings, Jason. This just in.
Oh, for sure. It's massive. We had someone on the text line, or was it on YouTube? No, it's text line that was asking us to ask Kenny, but we didn't get to that here, but we can address it ourselves. Why the Kings don't attack Steph Curry on the defensive end? I think they've tried to. I think there's an attempt to. I mean, look, they're also not putting him on the Kings' best offensive players, or like they're trying to hide him at times. They've done that. And they do a really good job of that. And it's funny because there's been so many people breaking down that final play, Dave, that didn't like the play by the Kings. Certainly people didn't like the end result. They missed a shot. They could have won it. And Barnes, that's a hair shorter. That's in, and nobody's really talking about it. But one of the parts of the play, and I know it kind of got disrupted, but when they first set the screen on Draymond Green, then for a moment, De'Aaron Fox had Steph Curry on him. That is probably the exact thing the Kings wanted. Now he lost his dribble. Draymond helps. Then you got to make an adjustment. And so they did. They still got a good look. But, yeah, the Warriors aren't going to put Curry on De'Aaron Fox.
No, and the way that the reason it hasn't stood out more to the person that asked that question, because it's a very legit question. The Golden State Warriors have absolutely mastered the ability to cover for Steph's defensive inefficiencies. He's obviously quick enough. And I want to say he's an underrated defender, but he's not a complete sieve. He has the ability to stay in front of his man. He's incredibly quick. And you do want to work those 35-year-old legs a little bit. But they have this tremendous ability they've honed over years to help as soon as Steph got down low. The problem is that for most of this series, with the exception of Game 4, they haven't hit their outside shots. And the way you beat Steph is very simple. You either screen him or you just shoot over him from deep, where they can't stretch the defense out to help him too much. And if they do try to come and help Steph, if you keep them honest from outside, if they try to come and help with Steph, that means somebody is open down low, and that's when you send cutters. But it all is reliant on the Warriors defense respecting that outside shot from somebody other than De'Aaron Fox. And until Game 4, they didn't have to respect anybody, because nobody outside of Malik Monk from time to time and Davion Mitchell from time, nobody's making their threes.
Yeah, I mean, I think of this as it's kind of a bad thing, though it's good to see De'Aaron shoot the three this well. He's been the best three-point shooter in the series for the Kings. That's good and that's bad. The bad is generally their best three-point shooters on the team are Herter, Monk, Murray, and Fox is out shooting them. So they need those guys to obviously pick up to more of their norm from their regular season level. And if we look at De'Aaron, as we said throughout the show, we expect him to play. He expects to play. But if he's not the guy that he's been, Dave, there's maybe some answers here. The 4 regular season wins the Kings had without Fox, so they went 4-5 without him. Numbers that went up. Kevin Herter averaged almost 23 points per game. Harrison Barnes was at 20. That number is above his norm. Sabonis was at 18.8, but his assists were at 8.3, so they're going to need him to be a facilitator. Murray's numbers were up a bit at 16.5. Davion, after a slow start in the games that he would start without Fox, is at 11 points and 6 assists. The one that I found interesting is Malik Monk's numbers actually went down. And I think of this team having 3 true playmakers, Fox, Sabonis, and Monk. And I think those guys need to be facilitators, playmakers. And the bottom line is everybody else needs to elevate their game here if Fox is not as impactful as he's been.
If we're talking tomorrow about a Kings victory, there's almost zero chance that one of those guys, I'll even take Sabonis out of it because Sabonis is Sabonis. One of those guys, including Monk, is going to have a 20-plus point game, if not two of those guys. The obvious answer is Kevin Huerter. We're all just waiting for that 3-point shot to fall. Hopefully Keegan Murray can continue. And really, I don't know about you, but I'm ready for a Malik Monk night. And if we can't get a Malik Monk night, can we get a Terrence Davis night? Or going back, think about this, Jason. Home court, and this is why my key to the game tonight is Kevin Huerter. They can win without his outside shot. It is possible, and they've done it twice. But if Kevin Huerter gets going early in the first quarter, if he hits a couple threes in a row and he starts getting on the Huerter heater, that crowd, they're all aware of his struggles. They all want to will him to success. They're going to fall off their chairs cheering for this guy. And it's going to be if he can do that, man, it's going to be a sight to see.
Yeah, I'm looking back at the box score of the first two games. And if we remember that game one, we all commented on how I thought Lyles was good. Monk and Fox were incredible. And it didn't feel like a lot of other guys were great, but the Kings found a way to win that game. Game two at home, these were better numbers. Fox and Sabonis each had 24. You had 18 for Monk, 14 for Mitchell. Huerter did have 15 in that game. Barnes had 13. Keegan only had the 2. But I mean, that looked more like a winning formula for the Kings to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players with 13 or more. That's the good version of the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, I completely agree. And you know, the thing with Kevin Huerter, which is crazy, I got to look at the whole team. I'm not entirely sure he's not leading the team in block shots this series. He's in each game, he's had 1, 2, 1, and 1. He's averaging 1.3 blocks a game. If that's not leading the team, that's pretty close. His points are down. He's only scoring 9, and he's shooting. The whole thing is him shooting 14% from beyond the arc. We've talked about this ad nauseum. His defense on Klay Thompson has been so incredibly important. He hasn't shut down Klay, but he's certainly put a little bit of dirt in the oil, if you will, on Klay Thompson. And you do. And honestly, Jason, I'll take that as a Kings fan. It doesn't have to be that way. But if you told me that Kevin Huerter could, I don't want to say effectively neutralize Klay, but 21, 21, 13, and 26. He's averaging 20 points for the contest or for the series. He's not playing terribly, but I just don't feel like Klay has out and out hurt this team like they could. I'll happily cancel out Klay Thompson and Kevin Huerter if that's the case. No problem.
Oh, yeah.
That's a win for the Sacramento Kings. But if you can get a little more deep shooting out of Kevin Huerter, they're going to win the ball game. If he's hitting his outside shots, they're going to win the ball game tonight.
Yeah, I've you said that about Klay. I've been kind of having that thought in the back of my head that, man, there still hasn't been that Klay game, which is a little bit scary.
It's a lot scary, and it's the thing that honestly scares me the most about tonight's game. And one of the, obviously Steph scares you. There's nobody else on that team. Wiggins is frustrating at times because sometimes it seems like he won't miss, but Klay Thompson is still an absolute flamethrower. And knowing as a defense that at any moment, and you don't know when it's coming, and you don't know what night it's going to be, and you don't even know, to be honest, if it's going to happen, but in the back of your head, if Klay Thompson has a Klay Thompson game, and we're talking about a guy, by the way, that had 26 points. It's not like he's not doing anything in the last game. But if Klay has one of those moments, and it's one of those, he hits 5 threes in a quarter type of thing, can't miss, falling away, all that goofy crap. You can't defend that, dude. You just throw your hands up and go, okay, well, we got.
Yeah, because he's that good, and he's been able to do that. All right, we've got a break here. When we come back, we've got more to get to, including your chance to win pit passes to Country in the Park. What to watch tonight? Of course, all eyes and ears are going to be on the Kings and the Warriors. We've got more on that straight ahead here on Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
The summer is heating up with some of your favorite country stars at Lake Tahoe Outdoor Arena at Harvey's. Featuring country's biggest stars. Derek Bentley's Gravel and Gold Tour, Friday, August 4th. Sam Hunt's Summer on the Outskirts Tour, Sunday, August 13th. Darius Rucker's Starting Fires Tour, Saturday, August 19th. King Brown's Drunker Dreaming Tour, Thursday, August 31st. And Friday, September 1st. Don't miss these country all-stars plus more. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com and ApeConcerts.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BC. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
It's been estimated that we lose more than 400 million golf balls globally every year. Hitting it in the fairway is a great way to prevent lost balls, but Golf Magazine's Josh Sen says, we can do better, people. First, play the right tees. The architect designed the placement of hazards for different handicaps. Second, find a reference point. Pick a tree, a shack, or a path where the shot was headed, and keep it locked as you head off the tee. Third, maybe use a highly visible ball. You've got a better crack at tracking your ball if it's the color of a lemon or a tangerine. And anecdotal evidence suggests there's something freeing about knocking around a cartoonishly colored golf ball. 4, do not look away in disgust. A natural reaction to a slice or duck hook is to turn away. As hard as it is to find an errant shot, it's even tougher if you don't know where to look. And finally, be a good scout. Instead of fiddling with your phone, keep an eye on your partner's shots. The more time you spend watching, the less time you spend looking. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Great team, great team. Where's the defense? Defense! Okay, everyone take a break. Greetings, Sacramento. Doug Christie here for the Good Feet store, asking, when is something too good to be true? When it probably is. And had I not experienced it for myself, this spectacular season would definitely qualify as too good to be true. So everyone out there in radio land, continue to enjoy. Something else that could seem too good to be true is Good Feet Arch Supports. But trust me, I've experienced firsthand the comfort, balance, and support possible with Good Feet Arch Supports. And so have countless others who have pretty much given up hope. It's time you felt good again. Take your feet to the Good Feet store for free personalized arch support, fitting, and test walk. Experience for yourself the comfort, balance, and support missing in your life. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville, online at goodfeet.com.
California, the birthplace of all things cool. Beautiful people, perfect beaches, and cruising with the top down on Route 66. It does get quite hot here, though, so now that spring has sprung, Ace Plumbing Heating and Air is offering a full air conditioning system inspection and tune-up for just $66. Call 455-4548 and just say Route 66 to get your kicks and stay cool. Ace Plumbing Heating and Air, 455-4548 or at aceplumbing.com.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
Good morning and happy Wednesday with your Sactown Sports headlines. I'm Jay Mars. The Sacramento Kings get ready for a crucial Game 5 matchup tonight with the Golden State Warriors at the G1C. Of course, this series is tied at 2-2, but the big headline for the last couple days has been about De'Aaron Fox's fracture in his left finger. While the Sacramento Kings listed him as doubtful, De'Aaron Fox had something else to say about that yesterday after practice.
No fans, but I'm fine.
We'll keep you up to date all day long with De'Aaron's status for tonight's game. Our coverage starts at 2 p.m. with Cattles and Rami out at the Golden One Center. And, of course, you can get tip-off at 7 right here on Sactown Sports with the G-Man, Gary Gerald. Those are your headlines. Back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
Yeah. Want to remind you that our first round coverage of the playoffs on Sactown Sports brought to you by National Garage Door. National Garage Door, quality doors, quality people.
Very quality, Jason. Before we get to our numbers, first off, might be time to retire the Portland Starburst gummy duos. I think those are probably overboard, dude. Secondly, we mentioned earlier that Tony Brothers
Yes.
Was going to be refereeing tonight. Somebody unearthed this. Here's a clip of Mike Brown. I believe it's during the finals. And I want to say this is when Steve Kerr was having back issues because he references it a little bit. Listen to who he stops in the hallway and what he has to say.
Tony, excuse me. When I found out Tony was going to be officiating the game, I was like, man, I'm glad I'm not coaching tonight.
Oh, wow.
What's that look for? That's the same look he gave me tonight. Okay, I'm sorry. My bad, Tony. Hey, you have a good one.
That's a beautiful clip. And honestly, I don't know which way to go. Is it?
I don't either.
Oh God, there was some truth to that, or they have a nice relationship. I don't know.
Joining Tony Brothers is Mark Lindsay and Tyler Ford are our officials for tonight.
Love Tyler Ford.
Okay.
He's a great ref.
Brett Bernanke is the alternate. For those
Love Brett Bernanke.
Hey, Dave, give us a number between 1 and 10.
I'm going to give you 5.
Again, we're back to 5. Caller number 5 right now, 1-800-920-1140 for De'Aaron Fox, for Game 5, for also Friday, May 5th. And that's when you can win your tickets here for Enjoy Friday pit passes to KNCI's Jiffy Lube Country in the Park at Cal Expo Grandstands. Pit passes includes admission to Country in the Park and access to come and go as you please from the exclusive Coors Light Frost Row Pit located immediately in front of the stage. Enjoy live performances, Lady A, Brett Eldridge, Joe Nichols, and more. If you want more information, visit SactownSports.com. Again, caller number 5 at 800-920-1140.
I feel like we should have De'Aaron perform at Country in the Park since it's on May 5th, as long as the Kings aren't in the semis, right?
He might be busy.
That's what I mean. If he's not busy.
Yeah.
He's not busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
Dave, I asked Jay this off the air. I'm going to ask you the same question. Because you were talking about, I think we were talking about minutes, and I was looking at numbers, and so and plus minus again is a stat that a lot of people throw away. I think there's no value to it. I think there can be some. It's basically the minutes you're on the floor. Are you a positive player or a negative player? Now, it can be misleading for sure, but just out of curiosity, who do you think in this series for the Kings is the best in plus minus and the worst in plus minus? Just your opinion.
This is counting the entire roster.
Yeah, the 4 games that they've played.
I'm going to say, I'm going to go easy. I'll say De'Aaron Fox
is the best plus minus. Okay. And then how about the worst, would you say?
I'm going to, God, that's tough. I'm going to say, oh God, I feel like it's a bench guy, but I'm going to say Keegan Murray.
Okay. Here's what's interesting. Again, plus minus. So the minutes you're on the floor, is your team gaining points or losing points? I'll say this: there's one starter for the Kings in the positive.
One total starter?
Uh-huh. And here I'm going to read you the numbers without telling you who.
Okay.
-1, -16, -37, -40, and +16.
That almost makes me want to. No, I'm going to stick with Fox +16. Although I have this weird feeling it's Kevin Huerter.
Your weird feeling is right. Kevin Huerter is +16 in the minutes he's on the floor. Part of Kevin's issue too, he's been in foul trouble.
Yes,
quite a bit in this series. He's +16. The other numbers, the second best of the starters, Keegan Murray at -1.
Interesting.
De'Aaron Fox, who's been unreal, has been -16. Sabonis -37.
Wow.
And Harrison Barnes -40. Now, again, game 3 was awful. But and that sways some of this. Like Barnes and Sabonis were -22 and -20. Keegan came back in and was just a 0. Like he was no positive, no negative there. But interesting. The best though is off the bench.
Yeah.
You've got a -19 for Davion Mitchell. Interestingly enough, -2 for Terrence Davis. Guys at the end of the bench that have barely played. Metu and Dozier played in game 3, but at the end they're +4. Kessler Edwards +1. But here's your positives: +14 for Malik Monk, +15 for Trey Lyles, and a team high +26 for Alex Len.
Yeah, Alex is coming. This is where the stat is so tough, dude. Because it's Alex Len has weirdly become like the go-to guy savior in this series for a lot of people. And I understand why. He comes in, he's a big body, he's a different look than Domantas Sabonis in almost every way, shape, or form. He's a legit shot blocker, he's a legit rebounder. And in some matchups, Mike Brown's found the ability to utilize him in the right way. I don't think Len and Sabonis can operate at the same time on the floor together.
Yeah.
When it comes to plus minus, Jason, one thing I've found is where I think plus minus can get very interesting is when it's not necessarily what the individual's plus minus is, but what the team's plus minus is when that person is on or off the floor. For example, which is kind of the same thing, but like
Right.
Steph Curry, like
Yes.
those are the ones you have to win when he's on the bench.
Right.
If you're not in a plus, you're screwed.
Well, and that's why I thought it was so telling and a little bit, I say alarming for me when the Kings won the first two games. I went, you don't care. You win. You don't really care about the stats, but it's like, all right, good. They won. And I looked at plus minus. I went, wow, Steph Curry in game one in a loss I know it was only 3 points, but he was plus 11. So you're going, man, they were 11 points better with him on the floor when they lost by 3. Game 2, they also lost by 6. He was plus 3. So through 2 games, he was on the positive side, and they were 0-2. Well, then you get to game 3. Steph and that team goes off. He's plus 24. He's been plus in every game. And then game 4, Steph Curry was plus 7. So obviously the minutes he's on the floor, they are a better team. I think that's an obvious statement, but it's actually dramatically better when Steph's on the floor.
Well, and that's the thing is being able to compare and contrast, for example, what that team is with Steph on the floor versus, okay, what are they without Steph on the floor?
Right.
And that's obviously in a serious minus. And I actually think that's the most insightful part of that statistic because it's so tough because a guy can be plus 8 on the bench. And part of that is, okay, there's no context. Did the guy play against the C squad in a blowout when nobody cared and the team was on the run? Or, is this poor guy playing against the team's A unit when they just so happen to be on a run? For me, it's a season-long thing. If I'm going to use plus minus, it's going to be, okay, what were the Warriors this year when Steph was off the floor? Blah, 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 blah. That tells me a little bit more. It's interesting.
Yeah, and that's why through 4 games, there's more data, not enough, but also in the series, it's 2-2. I mean, it's anybody's series. It's a best of 3 now, and things can still change, and all these numbers and metrics can change. So something to watch for tonight as far as everyone out there. It's a big basketball day. Man, of course, everyone's going to be locked in on Kings and Warriors. Our coverage will begin. We'll have Cattles and Rami out at G1C, out at Doko there, so they're going to be ready to get everybody riled up. We'll have game night. We'll have the pregame show, and, of course, all the play-by-play, 7 o'clock tonight here on Sactown Sports. That's what everybody's paying attention to. But, Dave, we got 3 other elimination games. Knicks at Cavs, and I'm not saying that series is over, but a little surprised to me that the Knicks are up 3-1.
I agree. And it was that big win in Cleveland. New York's up 3-1. Cleveland's the favorite tonight by a pretty decent margin, by 5.5. And I do expect them to win tonight. It's just going to come down to, can New York take care of business at MSG? And as much as I think the Garden is, it's the Mecca, and it's blah, blah, basketball is more fun when the Knicks are relevant. Madison Square Garden is popping. But yeah, that's elimination game number 1, and that starts at 6 o'clock.
You also have another elimination game right before the Kings Lakers at Grizzlies. LA's up 3-1. This one's in Memphis. Memphis, the 2 seed, try to keep their season alive. Man, I don't know if Kings fans are rooting for the Lakers, but obvious statement, Dave, is if the Kings get through the series and the Lakers win, the Kings would have home court. That's maybe the only reason to root for the Lakers.
Yeah. By the way, for some reason, my computer is decided to be on Central Time on everything. So that is a 4 o'clock.
Gotcha.
Knicks Cavs start. Excuse me. Oh, there we go. Excuse me. I'm rooting for the Lakers. I am. I'm rooting for the Lakers for a couple reasons tonight. Well, no, you know what? I mean, I'm rooting for the Lakers in this series. Honestly, I'd like
not tonight.
Not tonight. You're right. I can't stand Dylan Brooks. I can't stand the Grizzlies. And also, I mean, as a Kings fan, you want to look ahead. Certainly, there's work to be done before you get to the second round. But I'd rather have a Laker matchup than a Memphis matchup for 2 reasons. Number 1, I think the Kings do match up well with the Lakers. Number 2. If you could somehow go through the Warriors and go through the Lakers 2 rounds in a row, that would effectively not only are you in the Western Conference Finals, so the team's already guaranteed to match the deepest Sacramento's ever been in the playoffs, but to go through those two squads to get there, that's a dream scenario, and I want it. I want that scenario.
Yeah, and the other game tonight is Heat at Bucks. Miami up 3-1. All right, we've got to take a break here. When we come back, we've got a busy last segment. We've got Crosstalk with Chris Watkins and, of course, Kyle Madsen. Then we're going to get you a little celebrity birthdays, and brought to you by Crumble Cookies, and 3 in the Key for tonight. We got a final segment. That's all straight ahead here on Sactown Sports.
The Kings dropped a heartbreaker to the Warriors in Game 4.
Harrison Barnes with a launch for 3. It's no good. It came off the heel as time expires.
With the series tied at 2, the Kings look to regain the series lead Wednesday at the Golden One Center. Our coverage starts with Cattles and Rami, live from Doco at 2 p.m., followed by tip-off at 7 on Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports first-round coverage is brought to you by
National Garage Door. Quality doors, quality people.
Selling your home can be stressful. Scott Marsh here to tell you about Bridgehaven Homes. They are a local home buying company that offers homeowners an easier way to sell their home. Let Shane and his team at bridgehavenhomes.com take that stress away. Bridgehaven Homes gives you an all-cash offer for your home, no matter what the condition, within 24 hours. You pick the date you wish to close and sell on your terms. No repairs, no showings, and no realtor commissions. Call 916-299-6040 or bridgehavenhomes.com.
Ace fans need Friday night plans? Well, we got you covered. Get 4 tickets and parking for any Friday night game starting at just $49 with the Friday 4-pack presented by Chevrolet. Save big and enjoy great matchups, post-game fireworks and drone shows, giveaways, and more this 2023 season.
He drills one to right, way back, and no doubt, and that quickly the A's have taken the lead. Second deck.
Friday night tickets are available at athletics.com/value. That's athletics.com/value.
Carmichael Dave here, welcoming back my dear friends at Fire Wings. 21 different flavors. I had 4 of those 21 Saturday for the game, watching with the family. As always, breaded Malaysian curry. Yeah, you better bet I got that curry. Knocked it out of the park, too. Go to firewings.com to make your order. That's what we did. We ordered 2 hours in advance, picked it up. There's nothing better for the game than Fire Wings. Check out the locations nearest you. Fire Wings, just wing it.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find: happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
I'd rather ride a bike with my kids
Faster!
than ride in an ambulance.
I'd rather have a catch with my dog Curtis than catch pneumococcal pneumonia. If you're 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like heart disease, asthma, or diabetes, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Learn more at Prevnar20.com. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than freshly baked and home-delivered crumble cookies.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix. Live and local. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
All right, you hear that music. That means one thing and one thing only. Time for 3 in the Key. We're getting the guys in studio. Carmichael Dave, working from the home studio.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm great. Ready to go, Dave?
I'm ready to go. I wanted to read this to you real quick. A Little League baseball organization in New Jersey has implemented a new rule. Any parent that argues with an umpire has to volunteer as an umpire for 3 games before being allowed back as a spectator.
Good.
Can we all agree that should be adopted nationwide?
Yeah, even for fans in Major League Baseball parks.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I wouldn't like them as umpires, but they should have to go through it.
Let's just do this across any profession. If you criticize a professional, you have to then do their job.
You hear that, texters?
I can't wait to start at small forward for the Warriors.
I was just going to say, man.
Man. Sorry, Coach Brown. Sorry, Coach Kerr. Any referee tonight? Anybody that misses a big shot?
Hey, De'Aaron, great job working back with your own fingertip.
Yeah. But now it's my turn. All right, guys, here we go. 3 questions for 3 in the Key. Dave, you're going to lead us off. First one we were asking, because he's going to play. He said no ifs, ands, or buts. We want the points, rebounds, assists tonight, the stat line for De'Aaron Fox.
I'm going to go 24 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists.
Okay, mine's pretty similar. I already have mine in 26 points. I only gave him 1 rebound, 6 assists. Kyle?
33 points, 5 assists, and 3 boards.
Okay, Chris?
Like it. Love it.
I'll say 30 points. Okay. I'll say 6 rebounds.
Ooh.
And I'll say 6 assists.
Jay?
Quickly, are we doing a call your shot?
Yeah.
Okay. This will make more sense. 19 points. 10 assists, 4 boards.
Okay.
I love that idea.
All right, next up, Dave. We're looking for made threes by the Warriors and the Kings tonight.
I'm gonna say 16 for the Warriors, 19 for the Kings.
I had 14 Warriors, 13 Kings. Kyle?
I'm going to say yes, there will be made threes.
Okay, correct.
Big if true.
Yeah. What's your number?
I have to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. 15 apiece. I think they both hit 15.
Okay.
Chris?
I'll say 16 each. 32.
Okay. Jay?
I will go 17 for the Dubs, 15 for the Kings.
All right. Last thing, Dave, call your shot. Something odd, weird, whatever that you think is going to happen tonight.
I think Kevin Huerter's going to bust 20 points.
Huerter plus 20 points.
Weird.
Okay.
I mean, weird for this series. He's averaging.
It has been.
Not that.
Yeah. I have Mike Brown will call a timeout within 90 seconds of one of the quarters. He hasn't done that yet. He's done it all season. There's going to be some breakdown. He's going to be upset. 90-second timeout. He'll do it quickly. Kyle.
Kessler Edwards is going to knock down a 3 tonight.
Hey.
I like that call.
That's a very good call.
It's a very good call.
Okay, Chris?
I'll wish cast this into existence. I'll say Kings up by 10 in the first quarter.
Ooh, I like that call.
Jay?
Adding the context to De'Aaron only having 19s because Domas is going to go for 35 plus.
Whoa! Hey, the best call of the year on this was when Jay said Keegan Murray was going to have a career high. And I think he was coming off like just terrible games.
Not just I called the number.
And you said 30, and he went for 30.
Oh, that's so sick.
So bonus 35 plus.
Jay, you're good at radio games, man.
Yeah, I know, man. Big radio game guy.
Jason, I want to Kevin Huerter going for 20 a week. I'm going to change it. I forgot who was reffing tonight. There will be not 1, but 2 refs you suck chance tonight. And Jason, I'm going to need 40 you to stop those, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that one's safe.
Aren't those in box scores now?
Yes, listed at the bottom. I know we have
RYS plus and analytics.
I know we have celebrity birthdays to get to from Crumble Cookies, but did you have something in store?
Yeah, I have a game to play.
Okay, we like
it's
games.
A little twist on over-unders.
Okay.
So typically during the NFL season, the NBA NFL crossover, I'll pick like the 49ers game and the Kings game, and you have to pick which number will be greater. And I'll pick two things like Brock Purdy pass attempts or De'Aaron Fox points.
Okay.
And then you pick. So there's a full slate of MLB games today. All 30 teams are in action. So I'm taking the MLB schedule, and I've got numbers from that, and then the Kings game, and you have to pick which number will be higher. So Dave, we'll start with you.
Okay.
So total runs in MLB today. Total runs scored across all 15 MLB games. I'll give you some numbers. The over-unders say that there's going to be about 125 runs scored today.
Okay.
In Major League Baseball. Or Kings points. The Kings averaged 120.7 in the regular season.
Ooh, that's good.
You know what? I studied the pitching matchups in every single game today. There's some good pitchers going. I'm going to say Kings and the over.
Okay, Jason.
I'm going to say baseball runs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chris?
I'll say Kings over.
I'm going to go Kings as well. Jay?
I will go baseball.
Jay and I are baseball guys.
Okay, very good. I didn't write that down, so hopefully somebody else writes this down. Why don't we be back? Why don't we be back tomorrow? We can run back through it with you guys.
Play back and see.
No, this is good. I was really well prepared. All right, so we're going to go to the A's-Angels game.
Oh, yeah.
The Athletics of Oakland.
We'll be the only ones there. No, it's in.
No, I'm not going.
Isn't it in Anaheim?
It is in Anaheim.
Or Los Angeles, wherever they play.
It's Anaheim. Yeah. A's hits against the Angels. The A's averaging about 7.7 hits per game this year. Or Domas assists tonight. Jason, start with you.
Domas assists.
Okay. Chris?
I'm going Domas assist.
Jay?
Domas assist.
Dave?
Who's pitching for the Angels? Anyone know?
Yeah,
who's hitting for the
someone
A's?
Not good.
Lefty Grove.
I think it's Bobby Gritch.
Oh, it's Pablo Sandoval. He's
Ron Romanek.
Yeah, Pablo Sandoval on the bump.
I'm going to go assist for Domantas Sabonis.
Hey, I am too. I am too. It feels like
it's going to be the other. If we all win,
Okay. Yeah. I just, it's not like Domas might have like 5 assists, but there's a really strong chance he has go like 3 hits.
That's what I was thinking.
Like, that's it. That's
if they do that and he's below that, that would hurt.
That would be tough. That would Kevin hurt her. All right. Total home runs. 2 more here. Total home runs in Major League Baseball. So games are averaging about 2 home runs per game, just shy of 2 home runs per game, or De'Aaron Fox points averaging 31.5 in the postseason. Chris.
One more time. So
there's total home runs in baseball.
Total home runs.
In
Okay,
15
gotcha.
MLB games today.
Yep. I'll go home runs.
Okay. Jay.
Home runs.
Dave.
Home runs.
Jason.
Home runs.
I'm going Fox points.
Okay.
That's where I land.
Okay.
Last one. Orioles Red Sox announced attendance. So keep in mind, the O's are averaging 20,729 fans this year.
Okay.
But keep in mind, this is a Wednesday 1:05 first pitch. So their first pitch here in about 10 minutes. Okay. So total announced attendance at Orioles Red Sox or refs you suck chant tonight. Or Golden One Center attendance. They've announced full capacity 18,253 at both games.
Yeah.
Jay.
G1C.
Dave.
Give me the Guancy.
Jason.
G1C.
Chris.
G1C.
Yeah, I'm there as well.
All right.
This feels like one of those although here's what's going to happen. The Orioles are going to announce 20,000+, and then you're going to watch the game and you're like, that's 9, maybe,
right?
Maybe. Anyways, that's our game. Someone will write those down.
Yeah,
someone go back over
at home.
Yep.
Yeah,
there's tape on this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
just cut that.
Yeah,
we'll watch
good.
it.
Cool.
All right, guys, ready for some celebrity birthdays?
I'm ready for some crumble cookies.
Oh, there we go. We all are. Happy birthday today on this April 26th to Channing Tatum.
Oh.
What a baddie.
Jason's brother?
Jason's
Nobody?
brother.
I was
Yeah,
like,
Jason's
okay.
brother. Definitely.
Dave, what do you think?
46.
Yeah, Channing Tatum's like sneaky old. I'm gonna go 45.
I'll say 42.
Tate's is 39.
Not that 45 is old. I think he's old. He's just older than I
You
would think.
would think, right?
43, Chris Wise.
Really well
Good
done,
work,
Chris. Nice
I've
job.
seen Magic Mike a couple times.
First one, isn't there a second
I
one?
saw Magic Mike Double
Honestly,
XL
can't answer that.
as a third wheel with my buddy and his wife on a 4th of July in Arizona.
Fun?
Really fun.
Happy birthday to Melania Trump.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh boy!
And like a lead balloon.
Thirsty. I have no idea.
Are we doing a
No
pass?
clue.
41. 41.
I
don't know.
I don't know. I'll say 58.
Wow.
I have no idea.
I'll go in the middle there. 47.
Let's just.
Dave?
I'll go 56.
53. I think
Really?
That's Dave, right?
That's Dave.
Yeah, it's Dave.
Wow,
Yeah.
I'm the Melania Trump expert.
Good job, Dave.
Happy birthday. All rise, Aaron Judge.
Oh.
The Judge. He's 30 this year.
Oh, big birthday.
That's a good guess. I'll say 31.
Okay.
32.
30, 31, 32. Dave?
29.
I think it's 31.
We have a correct answer.
Yeah, I think it's 31.
It is 31.
He was 30
Aaron
during
Ito's.
his free agency.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, he's 31. Happy birthday to Kevin James.
Oh.
LeBron's
What?
brother.
Yeah.
Why was that? Oh, you don't like Kevin James?
The resemblance is
Is that-
uncanny.
Is that Paul
Fine.
Blart?
Yes,
Yeah,
Paul
okay.
Blart. He's
It's all right.
a mall cop and everything.
Yeah.
Dave, what do
It's
you
also
think?
Sean Payton.
See? The range.
Yeah.
The range that he has.
Kevin
Kevin
Range,
James.
we call him.
Kevin James is he is 54.
56. No, I take that back. Can I take it back?
You can.
Is that allowed? 52.
Okay.
No, you can't take it back. No. I'll say 56.
I'm going to shoot higher here. I'm going to say it's 59.
54 is a great guess.
Okay. 58.
Oh!
All right, we'll end with this one. Happy birthday to Carol Burnett.
Oh.
No clue.
Underrated, like, good,
Yes.
like for in my generation, Carol Burnett should be more of
Hilarious.
a legend than she is. Carol Burnett, I don't know, 80.
80.
80. I don't know who this is, so I'm going to say I'll go
Carol
off top.
Burnett show, dog.
83.
Okay.
87.
Dave?
Yeah, I'm gonna say she is. She's like 85.
The correct answer is happy 90th
No
birthday
way!
That makes me the winner.
for Carol Burnett.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
it. Well, Dave, we hope you feel better. Maybe we have you in studio
That's
tomorrow.
AJ's mom, actually.
Yes.
She was from Annie, Little Orphan Annie, the movie. She was the bad orphanage lady. All right. Hey, yeah, I hope to be back in tomorrow. Let's get a win tonight, though, can we? Please.
Yeah.
Must win for the Kings?
Must win.
Must win for the Kings.
Hey, we'll find out next on Chris and Co. with Kyle
Yeah.
Madsen and Chris Watkins.
What
That's
a
right.
pro.
Good plug.
That's next.
Great
We're out.
plug.
See ya.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on